From pretty much the present, this is your host, Adam Graham, bringing you a week of old-time radio detective podcasts from 2012. Because these podcasts are many years old, any offers or information included in the podcast may not be valid unless they're currently reflected on our Great Detectives of Old Time Radio website at greatdetectives.net. Here now is a week of old-time radio detective podcast. Welcome to the Great Detectives of Old Time Radio from Boise, Idaho. This is your host, Adam Graham. If you have a comment, email me at box13 at greatdetectives.net. Give me a call. The number is 208-991-4783. And become one of our friends on Facebook, facebook.com/Radio Detectives. Well, today's episode is brought to you by the support of our listeners. Thank you so much for all your support. Well, it's time for today's adventure of Frank Race. This is the second episode in the series. When it was actually aired, and you'll notice the words a little different in the opening. So let's go ahead and take a listen to The Adventure of the Darling Debutante.
The Adventures of Frank Race, starring Tom Collins. The war changed many things, the face of the earth and the people on it. Before the war, Frank Race worked as an attorney, but he traded his law books for the cloak and dagger of the OSS. When it was over, his former life was over, too. Adventure had become his business. The Adventures of Frank Race.
They say the way you wake up has an important effect on the whole of your day. Coming awake peacefully sets you off to a relaxed, poised beginning. So I came out of my nocturnal fog to the sound of...
Now listen, you're going to talk to him if I have to beat your brains? Oh, now look what you did. Just because you want to be stubborn.
Mark, for Pete's sake.
Oh, are you awake?
Am I awake? What are you trying to do, break my lease?
Well, we just want to talk to you.
You both wanted to talk to me? And somehow I have the idea that the desire isn't exactly mutual.
This guy's in trouble, Frank, and he's a friend of mine. His name is Bob Kennedy, and he drives a hack, just like me.
It was cold outside, and all Kennedy had on for a coat was a warm army field jacket. He needed a shave, and the way he shaped up, he could have done with some solid meals. His features were distorted with fear.
I've been telling him, Frank, if anybody can help him, you can. Go on, Bob, spill a story.
Look, Mark, we're wasting time. I got to get out of town. It's my only chance.
Only chance for what?
He thinks his wife is in the morgue.
Any connection with that item in yesterday's paper? Unidentified girl?
Yeah, that's it. Same description. Her clothes.
The report said there was plenty of indication that she might have been murdered. How do you feel, man?
Well, would you believe me if I say I didn't do it?
Well, let me get dressed. I think you'd better go to the morgue and have a look at that girl. And on the way, you can break this down for me. The next GI, Studying architecture on a BA program. His wife had been an English war bride. They told me about it as we go.
I didn't marry into the royal family or anything like that. She worked in the factory during the war making ammunition. But she was pretty. No guy could have a better wife.
Yet you had a fight.
Yeah. We picked a great place to pull it off. A cafeteria with a million people around. She left me there. That's all I know.
Where might she have gone, Bob?
Unless it was to look for a job.
This is it. And I know the boys in here, so you might let me do the talking. The girl in the morgue was Bob Kennedy's wife, all right. She still looked pretty, young, even lying there. Bob's stricken eyes came up to meet mine, staring at me. He shrugged at the attendant and he replaced the sheet. I think you ought to go to the police, Bob.
No, after that fight, you know what else? We had insurance policies on each other. Double indemnity at damage. Yeah, they were her idea. For her old age and to protect the kid. There's the big fat motive they're going to pin on me.
You have a child.
2 years old. Boy.
Money could be important to him.
Sure. Sure it could.
You'll never use a quarter of it if the court declares you guilty of murdering his mother. Hiding out now is going to look bad. You turn yourself in.
Not a chance. I haven't got a prayer, and I know it. I'm going to say thanks and get lost.
Mark's cab stood at the curb, and Mark shot me a warning look as I came out. There's reason for his attitude. On the sidewalk waited a couple of gentlemen who had been ward heelers just for getting off the boat. And the smaller of the pair intercepted me at the bottom of the steps.
You're Frank Ray, ain't you?
That's right. You?
What's the idea casing you?
I don't liquor.
You don't, but you might. What's the story?
Sorry. Saving that for my biography.
Yeah? We'll see how long you save it. Hopefully didn't care.
He had his argument in his hand. Snub-nosed automatic. So I shrugged and moved toward the taxi. At the same time, Mark slid across the seat and stepped out as though to open the door for us. And immediately pinwheeled into action with a 14-inch end wrench.
Take the big guy, Frank.
What's it, Mark?
Hey, missed me. Get on the city!
It is washed up as of now.
And you too, Marlowe. Oh, brother, that wraps him up. Come on, Frank, let's get out of here before that shot brings the boys in blue.
Yeah, as soon as I unload this gun. What's the story on that Milo personality? You seem to know him.
Milo Morgan? Belongs to Larry Carmichael, the racket boss. Why?
Yeah, Larry Carmichael. Good lad, Marcus. You've steered me into the lead I've been looking for. I knew Larry Carmichael. Big fellow with blonde curly hair that was going gray. Found him in his nightclub office practicing billiard shots.
Hey, what's the pitch on you anyway? I'm in here for the first time in a year, and all you do is ask questions. You know that? I don't like questions. You ought to know that.
Ever heard of a girl called Faye Kennedy?
I know lots of people.
I saw her a little while ago. On a slab in the morgue.
Go on out to the bar. Have yourself a drink. I sell good liquor.
But you don't want to talk about Kennedy.
I gave a party. Had lots of guests. The dame was there. I never knew it. And if you keep playing cop, I'm going to get sore.
I left him as he muffed his third shot. I didn't like him. It's still early in the evening, but several people were sitting at the bar. As I went by, a voice said me.
Keep still, Frank. It's martini time.
Well, Larry Carmichael, Jr. Going up.
Sit down, Race. This is Bunny Covington.
Hello, Rays.
Dusky hair and blue eyes are always tough on a man. They go with everything else this girl had to offer. You wanted this. Move. Honey Covington, #1 glamour deb in season. Top of the bunny for looks, curls, and...
Quit staring, Ray. She's going to stay a while. What have you been doing?
We'll just finished chatting with your father.
Well, how'd you find him?
His billiard game is off. His disposition's off with it.
If he's playing billiards, he's feeling happier than he did yesterday. Might be a good time for me to interview him. Stay put, children. I'll be back.
So the kid has made the big league.
Meaning me?
According to the Rotos, you're an ultra-exclusive country.
People talk about you, too.
You're not.
You make an impression. I understand you enjoy getting into trouble.
Kids like her, you try to exactly.
Is that what you're doing now? Getting into trouble?
If you're talking about this very moment, I'd say the answer is
I'm going to enjoy you, Ray. How would you like to take me somewhere else? I'm in the mood to patronize several spots tonight.
I don't know.
He's a charming boy, but I'm not wearing fraternity pins this season.
Well, then, make a thing for you.
Oh, go ahead and make it. And to ease your conscience, I'll say goodbye to Larry Jr.
My call was to the homicide bureau. A friend by the name of Lieutenant Gambona. I asked him if the girl in the morgue had been identified. How's it going, the boat? Homicide? Picked up anyone yet?
What's your interest in this?
Just curious.
You and you're curious.
We'd like to know if you made an arrest.
Well, we brought in the girl's husband.
Calling it open and shut?
But the guy wants to keep it down.
I heard that.
Does that mean you know something, Frank?
I'll keep you posted, Lieutenant.
Listen, Frank.
Ready to go now?
Oh, let's call it fair.
Oh, we can use my car.
Is that Larry Jr.?
Still talking money with his dad. The child has to live, you know.
We went out to the parking lot and we bought a car. I had a personal explanation when I saw it. It was export job for something out of Europe.
I'm flattered that you like it, Ray. Jump in and drive.
I think you'd want an exclusive on it.
No, not I, darling. My whim runs through handsome chauffeurs. You know something?
What?
3 nightclubs in a row adds up to a lot of nightclubs, even for me. How about going into that drive-in for hamburgers?
You ready?
Oh, God.
Must be the exercise. But we won't need menus, miss. Make it hamburgers, french fries, and coffee.
Ah, this is nice. But you're not going to take me right home, Race. I'm determined to make a night of it. This is the first time in a week that I haven't been bored.
Poor little Richard.
Tell me something, Race.
Okay.
What do I have to do to get you to take me seriously?
Now, tell me something about yourself.
Ask me anything.
How long have you been running around with your man?
Oh, a few days. Just for laughs.
Were you at the Carmichael party you met before?
As a matter of fact, I was. Why?
There was a girl at that party who was found dead the next day. Police think she was murdered.
You're talking about the girl the police identified today?
That's right. Hey, come here.
Well, how do you tie her in with the party, Race? The paper said something about the body being found on some highway.
I'll move around. Ask a few questions. Listen to your answer. Yeah.
That girl. Are you working on the case?
Not professionally. Just trying to help someone out of a jam.
Would I be helping someone out of a jam if I told you I saw that girl at the party?
Keep going.
She was one of the extra girls hired as a maid. I noticed her when I heard her talk. That English accent. I liked her. I tried to engage her to work for me.
What happened?
She didn't want a steady job.
You know what happened to her later?
Yes, I do. It was almost morning when I talked to her about working for me. Most of the guests had left, and she couldn't get a cab. So Larry loaned her one of the house cars, a Ford coupe.
And she left by herself. All alone? You sure of it?
Well, yes, I'm positive. I watched her drive away. What's the matter? Don't you like my information?
I'm thinking what it probably means for her husband. Trial and conviction for murder.
We'll return to the adventures of Frank Race in just about 1 minute. And now, back to the adventures of Frank Race.
I've had cases that have been failures, plenty of them. But when a kid has been accused of murdering his wife, mother of his son, and something tells you he's innocent, you don't like the thought of failure. So I called it homicide, and then it was brought to Lieutenant Vander doing some desk work.
Sit down, Frank. What can I do for you?
No, I'd just like to get a look at Faith Kennedy's account.
I happen to have them right here. That's all you like. There's compact, lipstick, 4 pennies, and the photograph of a small boy.
That all?
That's the business.
You know that she worked as a man?
Yeah, we know. She only worked a few days at a time. I guess she was looking for a regular job because she just applied for a Social Security card. Now it's your turn, Frank. What do you know about it?
Nothing worthwhile, yeah. When I do, I'll bring it in. What are they holding a trial?
Juvenile hall. One.
I'd like to see him.
Hey, mister, can you use a cab?
A good man, that's against the law. You know it.
Stop making with the funnies, Frank. Come on, get in here and I'll give you a lift.
I was going over to Juvenile Hall to see Bob Kennedy's kid. What were you doing around here?
I was going to see if I get a pass to go in and see Bob. I'll make it later.
Brief me on something, Mark.
Sorry.
What do you know about Larry Carmichael, Jr.?
Hey, crazy kid. Always getting into jams.
What kind of jam?
Dames, mostly. They're always taking them for dough. I guess that's why the old man tightened up on the bank. What?
I've sort of had him on my mind. What about Larry Sr.? Has he ever been arrested?
Oh, yeah. But they never proved nothing against him. He was indicted by the grand jury about 8 years ago, but he beats the rap.
What was he charged with?
They hooked him as head of a ring that had been clouting hot shorts.
What?
Clouting hot shorts. You know, stealing cars.
Did they have enough on him?
He was too clever. By the time he got finished repainting him and everything, even the insurance companies couldn't identify him.
Where did he do all this painting and changing?
Garage he's got. Over on State Street.
Is he still having?
Yeah, but it's strictly legit, man.
Just the same, I think I'll postpone my trip to Juvenile Hall for a while. Drop me off and you can go and visit Bob Kennedy.
Okay. That's the way you want it. Where you going now?
Pay another call on Larry Carmichael Sr.
Hello, Race. You back again?
No, I just thought you might want to talk to me now.
You might. Care for a drink?
You can owe me one.
Hey, I thought you and me were friends.
You are. Probably.
The way you mauled a couple of my boys yesterday.
Oh, come on. They wanted to prod me around with pistols.
Oh, they thought you were somebody else.
They know me.
I still think they made a mistake.
Why don't you call them in here? You could ask them a few questions.
Well, they're not around right now.
Why were they casing the morgue, Larry?
Would you believe me if I told you I didn't know?
Come on. Go ahead and tell me.
Who are you working for, Frank? What are you so busy about?
Now you're making sounds that don't mean anything. You know the story.
Kennedy girl?
Didn't want to talk about it yesterday.
I didn't know I was going to have you breathing down the back of my neck. What are you trying to prove?
I don't want to see your husband go to the block for something he didn't do.
You got ideas I'm the one that tripped him up, huh?
Did you, Larry?
Look, Race, I thought you worked for insurance companies.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, go back to work for them. You'll be happier.
Tell me something, Larry. You own a big garage, don't you? One of those open all-night affairs?
I own a service station. So what?
Just a casual question. They want to sell you some advertising one of these days.
What are you talking about?
It's about me. I want to hear all of it. Hello, Rose.
Hello, Ben.
Going somewhere?
As usual.
Take me.
I don't hang around here, baby.
Sorry, Larry. I need some fresh air. How about it, Rose? You've got your favorite car outside.
It won't be exciting.
Let me decide that. Where are we going?
To see a little kid. He was tiny and tow-headed. It looked as though he'd usually have a cute, ready grin. There was evidence that he'd been crying a lot. And when I lifted him, I caught a soft, tired sound deep in his throat. I was told he'd be kept there until the disposition of his father had been decided, either by the police or by the court. Later, when Bunny Covington and I got outside, there seemed to be more clouds in the sky than they'd been in. More bleakness and doom.
What did they call him, Race? I didn't get it.
Kenny. His first name's Kenny. Let's go.
What'll happen to him if his father's convicted?
I'm not sure.
Go ahead, you drive. They'll probably put him up for adoption, won't they?
Something like that. Whatever happens, it's going to be rough on him.
How are you doing on this case?
So far, I've walked up a lot of blind alleys. I keep getting the feeling that I'm overlooking something. Something I've already seen.
Well, what about the police? Can't they help?
Well, they've got the husband. No, I don't know. Maybe they're right.
But you'll keep trying.
That's right. Incidentally, this Greyhound of yours is running low on gas.
Oh, well, there's a station across the street.
I know. Let's go to that garage with Larry Carmichael. Can't help being curious about that poor creature. The service station was one of Larry Carmichael's pet enterprises, one of those super service subdivisions that peddle everything from windshield wipers to body and fender work. It was toward the body and fender building that I made my inquisitive way. Well, the car took time out for gas, and Bunny took time out to clean up. No activity going on, but the Dent and Scratch Emporium was open, so I prowled in. I'd been peering around for about 5 minutes, and someone switched on a light. One of those uniformed private police boys. The moment I caught his malevolent grin, I knew something ugly had turned up. While I was thinking this, he leveled a .38 at me. I dove behind a Buick station wagon, crawled as far as the rear wheels of a Dodge truck, where I jumped up and tore for an open door at the far end.
What's the matter, Ray?
Come on, let's get out of here.
Oh, whatever happened?
Well, some man set me up for a pigeon. And almost one Cupid dog.
Oh, it's never a dull moment with you, Ray. Shall we drop in somewhere for a drink?
Sounds enticing, but on the way I'd like to patronize the first public telephone we see.
More cops and robbers?
Getting shot at seems to have blown the fog from my brain. I just caught the idea that might wrap up this package.
Good. Then maybe you'll have a little time for thinking about me. I spent 45 minutes in one of those sidewalk phone booths. I called Vander at Homicide and asked him to relay a message to Bob Kennedy in his cell. When Vander called back with the answer, I talked to him into securing another item of information from the motor vehicle. When I got back, it was Bunny. Had been finally dead. You know, I've discovered what makes you so attractive to me, Ray. It's because I'm always having to wait for you. Do you know that you're the first person I've ever waited for in my life? Drive on, Duchess. Now you take the wheel. You know, I've been thinking about that. About what? The fact that you never want to drive. Well, I told you the reason. I like handsome chauffeurs. Want me to tell you the real reason? Go ahead. Your driver's license has been revoked. Too many convictions for speeding, for reckless driving. All right, so I'm a good little girl. I let others drive for me. You drove the other night, though. You drove and you had an accident with this car. Race, you're upset. You haven't been getting enough sleep. You bought the car new, didn't you, Duchess? How long have you had it? 6 weeks. Both the front fenders have been refinished. I can tell because the rubber fittings are coated with paint. That's always the tip-off to it. Do you read palms, too, Race? It all ties in with what happened to Faye Kennedy. You see, when you offered her that maid's job, she didn't turn you down. She accepted it. She'd been looking for a job, so you took her home with you when you left the party. Which would have been all right, except that on the way you couldn't resist showing off the speed of this rocket.
You ran it off the road into some brush. You didn't hurt yourself, and the car was still drivable. But you fractured that girl's skull. So you pushed her out and left her there, alongside the road. Because you knew that with your record, you'd face a charge of manslaughter.
Darling, you are upset. Let's go and have that drink.
Sorry, Duchess. No drinks.
Race, you can't really believe all this. Well, I admit I cracked up the car, but the rest of it, you're letting your imagination run away with you.
No. I'm sure of it. I'm sure of it because you lied. You lied when you said you saw that girl drive a Ford away from the party.
I did see her, Race. I can prove it.
No, Duchess. Faye Kennedy was born in England into a poor family. Poor families that don't have cars. She didn't have a driver's license either, because she never learned how to drive a car.
All right, Race. You've put it together. But you're not going to be difficult about it, are you? After all, manslaughter isn't murder.
You'd have turned it into murder. You'd have let that girl's husband go to the chair.
Oh, they wouldn't have given him the chair, Race. Life imprisonment, maybe, not the chair.
Just life imprisonment. You have no trouble being casual with other people's lives, do you, Duchess? Tell me, how much did you have to pay Larry's private cop to shoot me for a trespassing?
Race, I was in a jam. Race, give me a chance. Give me a chance to show you my real inner feeling for you.
I had a look at your inner feeling, Duchess. When we saw that baby. You were about as sympathetic as a pole axe.
Where are we going, Race?
Center Street, Homicide Bureau. Last year, Debutante, you came out. This year, you're going in.
The Adventures of Frank Race, starring Tom Collins, came to you from Hollywood. The series is written and directed by Joel Murcott and Buckley Angel. The music is composed and played by Ivan Ditmars. Be sure to be with us again this time, 1 week from today, for another dramatic chapter in The Adventures of Frank Race. Art Gilmore speaking. This is a Bruce Ells production.
Welcome back. Well, that debutante, I guess, was not so darling after all. I love this show, particularly that it's absolutely a stirring theme and transition music. I think that Race is a pretty interesting character, too, in that the cases he takes, like this one, oftentimes there is not a specific fee that's involved in it. And there's a very great sense of justice in the way that he conducts himself and the type of things that he actively feels about what's going on in the case. In some ways, he's almost an embodiment of the best of the values and beliefs of the World War II generation, which I think was one of his great appeals back then, and I think remains one of his great appeals today. Well, join us tomorrow. We've got another fun and exciting case with Leonidas Witherall up tomorrow, and then join us back here on Monday for another adventure with Frank Race. Today's episode is brought to you by the financial support of our listeners. Thank you so much for your support. And I want to especially thank the Wilson family in Long Beach for sending a donation. And we'll be sending along access to our premium site, which we do with all donations of $7 or more. I should mention that they actually mailed in a contribution. I know that our main options are through PayPal, and most people use that. But if you email me, I'm more than happy to provide a mailing address for that purpose. All right, well, now it's time to get into today's episode of Leonidas Witherall. This one is called Murder at Dandy's Dream.
We present the distinguished American actor Walter Hampden in The Adventures of Leonidas Witherall.
Leonidas Witherall's always getting mixed up in murders.
You wouldn't think so to look at him. He looks just like Shakespeare.
It's his beard, and he's the head of an important school for boys in New England.
He also writes thriller stories on the side, the Lieutenant Hazeltine stories.
And to escape from this intense activity, Leonidas has just gone to the mountains for a brief rest. Isn't that right, Mr. Hampden?
Exactly. Mr. Witherall's close friend and valuable housekeeper for the neighborhood, Mrs. Mullet, went off to Dandy's Dream Domicile, a resort in the mountains where she's been combining work with pleasure. On the basis of her recommendation, Leonidas has gone there himself for a short vacation. But he hasn't been there more than a few minutes when, standing on the porch with Mrs. Mullet, the calm of the mountainside is shattered by a fire alarm.
There's a fire, Mr. Witherall. Why, it's that cabin right across the road, see it?
Yes, we'd better go over, Mrs. Mullet. We might be able to help. Oh, how far is the fire station, do you know?
Oh, it's about 5 miles away. They probably won't get here for a long time.
Pretty bad fire. Wonder if anybody's in that cabin.
Well, I can't see account of the flames.
There is someone inside. It's a man.
Good gracious.
See him? He's just coming out.
Yes.
Looks weak, too. He's staggering here.
Oh, please, help me.
That's all right. I've got hold of you. Take his other arm, Mrs. Mullet.
No. I've got to go back inside. My diamond's in there.
A diamond's not worth risking your life for, man. Now, just lie down on the ground.
No, I've got to get my diamond. It's worth a fortune.
Fortune?
There comes the crowd from the main house. They'll help. Why, they'll bring you buckets, too.
Please, my diamond. It's in the top drawer of the dresser. It'll burn.
All right. It's so important, I'll try. Look after Mrs. Mullet. I'm going into that cabin.
No, wait, you'll be killed.
Hey, where's that fella going? Is he crazy? He's heading right for the fire.
Mr. Witherall. What's in the cabin?
Oh, it's hard to spot him with all those flames. Hey, what's going on here? Somebody caught him there?
No, no one's in there. He went to get something.
It must be something valuable. I wouldn't go in there for $1 million.
Well, maybe that's what it's worth.
What? What did you say?
Nothing. You just keep moving those buckets.
Did he go in? What's happening?
I see him. Come on, Mr. Witherall. Get up, Mr. Witherall. Get up.
He's okay. He's okay. Hey, wait. Here he comes.
Are you all right?
What?
Are you all right?
I'm all right, yes.
Overheated, but otherwise fine.
Did you get my diamond?
Yes, I did.
Oh, I don't know how to thank you.
Here it is, Mr.
Button. My name's
Might we discuss this later, Mr. Button, in private? Because when I found your diamond, I made a startling discovery. Amazing, Mr. Button. Positively amazing. Mr. Button, I went into your burning cabin, opened the top drawer of the dresser, and found what you described as your diamond. If I may ask, how much did you pay for this rare gem?
Why?
Well, you said it was worth a fortune. I hope that was merely your excitement at the moment. Hope you didn't actually pay more than a few dollars.
A few dollars? So happens I paid $30,000 for that diamond.
Oh, pardon me for whistling. You see, I'm the director of a school, Mr. Button. We teach chemistry, among other things. I recall our chem professor telling a class once that real diamonds being made of carbon will burn when subjected to fire.
Are you trying to tell me that it's a fake?
It's glass, Mr. Button. Plain, ordinary glass.
But that's impossible.
I can appreciate how you feel. $30,000 for a piece of glass seems a little high, doesn't it?
Are you positive?
Quite. Now, you should be more cautious when you go shopping.
Well, I'll ruin him. I'll kill him.
Whom?
I am Mr. Dandy.
The manager of this retreat? Retreat.
I wasn't supposed to tell anyone where I got this, but I will. I'll tell everybody under the sun, and I'm going to take him by the neck and
No, I wouldn't recommend that. Perhaps Mr. Dandy made a mistake, eh?
He's not the kind of a fellow who makes mistakes. I'll show him.
Shall we be calm, Mr. Button? Perhaps if you talk it over with him...
I don't want to talk to him. I just want to get my hands on him.
Would it help if I spoke to him? I mean, if it'll prevent any violence.
Well, you tell him.
Well, if he realizes he's been caught selling a false diamond, he might prefer to return the money rather than discuss it with the police.
I don't want anybody to talk to him. I just want to see him dead.
But you can't actually kill the man. You've got to solve this some other way.
I'm not interested in other ways.
Mr. Button.
Oh, get out, Witherall. And keep your mouth shut.
Interesting suggestion. But surely you're not going to...
Never mind what I'm going to do.
Shall we be calm, Mr. Button?
Oh, get out.
All right, I will. But before I go, I may tell you I'm not going to leave this problem this way.
What are you going to do?
In your own words, Mr. Button, just you never mind what I'm going to do.
Well, what can I do for you, Mr. Witherall?
I came to your room, Mr. Dandy, to warn you.
Warn me?
Yes, about that false diamond you sold to Mr. Button.
Who said I ever sold him anything?
Now, there's no time for explanations. Unless he gets some sort of satisfaction, he's determined to kill you.
To kill me?
I knew that would interest you. That's why I'm here. Now, I thought perhaps I might serve as a mediator.
Witherall, I think you're a phony. And so's this man Button. He hasn't a thing on me. And if you think I'm walking into a trap, you're crazy. I don't know anything about selling him diamonds. Play around with that.
All right. At least I tried.
Didn't you come here for a nice, peaceful vacation?
I did.
Then mind your own crummy business, or you'll get a nice, peaceful rest. A very long one.
Rather a dull way to phrase your threat, Mr. Dandy. I was merely trying to pacify Mr. Button.
Okay, you said, you little piece. Just because you look like Shakespeare doesn't mean you ought to mastermind everything.
Strikes me as very odd, Mr. Dandy, that someone should sell diamonds at a mountain resort rather than at a business office. Now, isn't it possible you might be selling many types of diamonds? Glass ones, stolen ones?
You don't care much about what happens to you, do you?
On the contrary.
Then cut your vacation short, Witherall. Go home first thing in the morning. Keep your beard out of this.
I certainly will not go home. This resort has been recommended to me. I came here for a vacation, and I intend to stay.
You do, huh?
Absolutely.
All right, you asked for trouble. Now you'll get it.
Mrs. Mullet, what are you doing peeking through the keyhole of that room?
Shh. Very interesting.
What is?
The conversation in there.
Oh, that's bad manners.
It's a man and his daughter. And what a fight they're having.
You shouldn't listen to family quarrels.
How dare you say that, Loretta?
How dare I? I'll say it again. I'm going to marry Phil Dandy, and I don't believe a word you say about him.
You don't think he's a crook, eh? All right. I didn't want to tell you this, but I will.
Here comes the good part, Mr. Witherall.
See this diamond, Loretta? Take a good look at it. It's genuine. I had it tested this afternoon. I paid $30,000 for it. Got it from your boyfriend, Dandy. But that diamond was stolen. He sells stolen goods.
I don't believe it.
He's what they call a fence. He uses this place as a headquarters.
You're lying. You wouldn't buy a stolen diamond. And besides, Phil would never have anything to do with a crooked business like that. You're making up the whole story because you're jealous. You never thought any man was good enough for me. You've managed to get rid of every boy I ever liked, and you're desperate now because you know how much I love Phil. You'd say anything to stop us from being married.
Then why don't you ask him about the diamond?
Because I wouldn't even bother to repeat your crazy story.
Then I'll bring him here myself.
I beg your pardon. This door opens very abruptly, doesn't it?
Listening in at my door, eh?
Oh.
And who are you?
I'm terribly sorry. My name is Leonidas Witherall, and this is Mrs. Mullet.
Oh, I saw her before. She cleans our room.
Hello. Eavesdropping, huh?
I suppose, Witherall, you heard everything we said.
Well, your tone was not exactly confidential. But since you ask, I missed the early part.
Very amusing. Now I'll tell you something you didn't hear. You know too much.
Mm-hmm. Somebody else told me that tonight. Called me a mastermind.
You won't get a chance to butt in anymore, though.
How's that?
Oh, you'll find out. Come on, Loretta. Let's go downstairs.
I'm coming.
Good night, Witherall. Sleep well.
Oh, thank you. I shall. What's that?
Hurry, Loretta. Lock the door.
Keyhole kibitzers. Mind your tongue.
Oh, come along, Mrs. Mullet. This next door is the door to my room, isn't it?
Yes, that's it.
Now, where did I... Oh, I have it here. Here's the key.
I put fresh bedding on for you. Anything else you want before I go?
Well, you might do a favor for me. I feel rather worn by all those fantastic doings. I'd like a cup of coffee.
Well, I'll go down to the kitchen and get one for you.
That's very kind of you, Mrs. Mullet.
Be right back.
All right, thank you. He say, sleep well. Coming? Peaceful vacation, very relaxing. Yes? Oh, it's you, Mr. Button.
Witherall, where's my letter opener? Give it to me.
I don't know anything about a letter opener.
When you went into my house at the fire, I think you helped yourself to a few of my things. That letter opener's a very valuable piece. Has a hand-carved Persian base that's made of the finest steel.
Uh-huh.
Worth a lot of money, Witherall. Now give it back.
I assure you, Mr. Button, I haven't the remotest idea where your letter opener is.
I'll turn this room of yours upside down to find it.
Well, go ahead. I've never seen a room upside down.
Oh, Mr. Witherall.
Oh, just a moment, Mrs. Mullet, please.
Do I get the letter opener or do I call the police?
Now, the gentleman I'm supposed to resemble was used to such melodramatic talk, but as for me...
Don't get uppity with me.
Uppity?
But, Mr. Witherall, I want to tell you...
Stop putting in.
Now, for the last time, Mr. Button, I don't know where that knife is. Now, I wish you'd leave.
Mr. Witherall,
Don't
please.
interrupt now, please, Mrs. Mullet.
And for the last time, either you give it to me or I'll try looking for it myself.
Well, you can turn this room topsy-turvy and you won't find that knife.
I know where it is.
You know where it is.
Yes, I do.
Well, where is it?
Downstairs in the kitchen.
Then go down and bring it up.
I can't.
Why not?
It's stuck in something.
Stuck in what?
Mr. Dandy.
What? No.
It's in Mr. Dandy's back. He's been murdered, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Why didn't you tell us about Dandy before?
Well, I tried to, but you kept telling me not to interrupt.
If he's been stabbed with your knife, Mr. Button, asking me for it as though it were lost was a miserable attempt to deceive me.
I didn't kill him.
Perhaps not. Shall we go downstairs?
I'm not afraid.
Oh, admirable. Come along, Mrs. Mullet.
You know, she doesn't seem at all upset by this. You two could be in cahoots. You might have spoken to Mr. Dandy before this...
Oh, I never get upset when I find a dead body. I found so many of them.
What?
Well, whenever I'm with Mr. Witherall, we always find one. He's always getting mixed up in murders.
Oh, he is he? That's quite a character reference.
Well, Mr. Witherall's quite a character.
Ah, thank you, Mrs. Mullet. Now, Mr. Button, shall we go downstairs and see your letter opener? Lost objects turn up in the most curious places, don't they? Yes, officer. 1 hour? All right, thank you. Goodbye.
What does the police say? Is it going to take them 1 hour to get here?
Fortunately, yes. The nearest police station is almost 40 miles away. Besides, he says there was an accident on the road, and it'll be blocked for some time.
You mean we're all supposed to sit here?
Uh-huh.
Dandy's body lying on the floor in the kitchen?
Mm-hmm.
Just sit here for an hour?
Well, you don't have to stay, Mr. Wick. I imagine it'd be all right to return to your room.
Oh, isn't there anything we can do?
No, simple fact is that Dandy is dead. He was murdered, killed by a knife thrown through the window from quite a distance. Well, when the police arrive, they'll find out who the killer is, and that will be that.
What are you doing that for, Witherall?
Playing beanbags? Oh, just for fun.
You seem pretty cool, Witherall.
Oh, I don't see any reason to be excited, Mr. Button. Do you?
With a murder staring everybody in the face? Somebody in this room's a killer, and you're just standing there, tossing those silly beanbags into that hat.
In moments of tension, I find it relaxes me to do something like playing beanbag.
You just try to throw the bags into the hat, Mr. Witherall?
Yes, that's the whole object of the game. No significance in it being my hat. Want to try it?
Beanbag? Now? Very silly for a man who looks like Shakespeare.
I'd suggest you try it too, Mr. Wick. We might all play a game. It'll take our minds off this crime. Or is there someone who's too nervous to play?
I'm not.
Well, I've nothing to worry about. I'll play.
So will I.
Fine. I'll start, eh? Now, here she goes. Ah, perfect. Didn't even touch the rim. 1 point for me. Oh, Miss Wick, watching?
Loretta.
Oh, yes, sorry, I'm watching.
You seem rather distracted.
Wouldn't you be if someone you loved had just been killed?
Yes, or if I discovered someone I loved was a crook and had lied to me.
Are you implying that my daughter had something to do with Dandy's murder?
Anyone could have, couldn't they, Mr. Wick? Anyone here? My second shot, pardon me. Oh.
Loretta never even dreamed of killing Dandy.
1 point and 1 miss for me. Oh, yes. She never dreamed of it, but then the information that he was a criminal could have been extremely infuriating.
Will you stop that?
Why don't you just play beanbag with her all and stop playing detective?
That's all I'm doing, Mr. Button. Mr. Wick, try a couple of shots?
Oh, I'm not very good at this sort of thing.
Come on, try it anyway.
All right. Here goes.
What's the matter, Wick? You nervous? The hat's over there.
Oh, I think he's just a bad shot. Try another one, eh?
But I'm no good at it.
Oh, hurry up. I'm waiting for my turn.
Well, all right.
Way off, Mr. Wick, way off.
He's hopeless. Let me try it.
It was my turn next.
Lady, you can wait.
Well.
Okay. Bullseye. Now, the next one.
Oh, stop it. Stop it.
Oh, something wrong, Miss Wick?
You've got to stop playing this game. You've got to. I can't stand this. Well, what's got into her? If we stop now, I'll never get my turn. Oh, don't. Please, don't play anymore.
Incredible. Beanbags should be so nerve-wracking. You respond to all sports with equal sensitivity?
It's just too grotesque. Playing a children's game with a murdered man in the house.
Very well. If it's so upsetting to you, we'll give it up. Suppose we go to our respective rooms and wait for the police.
Come on, Dad. Let's go.
I'll be in my room if you want me.
You going upstairs with her all?
You second.
My daughter and I'll be in our rooms when the police come. Strange man. Playing beanbag.
We'll go upstairs too, Mrs. Mullet. Then I'm coming down. Alone.
What? I don't like this place anymore, Mr. Witherall. It's always kind of spooky here at night. But now with a dead man stabbed in the back, I think you should just lock yourself up in your room till the police come.
Now, I've been threatened by everybody involved, Mrs. Mullet. I've no other choice. I've got to get at the bottom of this. Besides, it's ruining my vacation.
What's that?
Oh, just one of our friends closing his door. Now, I'm going to sneak downstairs and look at the records of this resort.
Are they so important?
The minute I see those records, I'll know who killed Mr. Dandy. Now, I don't want to be seen. Know where the hall light switch is?
Yes, I do.
Well, turn out all the lights.
There.
That's it. Now, here.
Wait. What's that?
Oh, just the wind.
Sounds like someone wailing in agony.
Now, Mrs. Mullet, you're talking like a character in my Hazeltine stories. Agony or not, I'm going down.
The desk where the records are is right at the bottom of the stairs.
I know. So far, so good. Now, where are those files? Oh.
Mr. Witherall, wake up. Wake up. Wake up. You shouldn't be sleeping on the floor.
My head. Yeah?
You were down here so long I got worried, so I came after you. How'd you ever fall asleep on the floor?
I didn't. I was struck over the head. It was this, I guess.
That beanbag?
Why, it's loaded. Feel it?
My.
Someone probably threw it at me.
Why, they might have killed you.
Yes. Quite a good deal of expert throwings being done tonight. Now let me see those files. Aha. Some pages have been torn out. There's only one chance left. Let me see this list of guests. 1943, 1942, 1940. I see. Oh, Mrs. Mullet, I feel a bit dizzy. Would you take that telephone and make a call for me?
Well, sure. Who do you want to speak to?
Oh, I want long distance. Mr. Paul Scoot, Omaha, Nebraska. Numbers Greenfield 986.
Who in the world's he? What's he got to do with it?
Well, his name and address and phone are here in the records. He was a guest in 1940.
Operator, long distance, please.
Now, it's very important I speak to Mr. Scoot.
But why do you... Oh, excuse me. Long distance? I want Omaha, Nebraska. Greenfield 986. This is roadside 72367. Yes, I'll wait. Mr. Witherall, why do you want this, Mr. Scoot?
Well, he's going to tell me who the murderer is.
A man who isn't here at all? A man in Nebraska? Do you feel well, Mr. Witherall?
Well, a bit shaky.
Yes, it's what I thought. Calling someone in Nebraska to ask them who did the killing tonight. Oh, hello. Just a minute. Hold on. Here.
Oh, Mr. Scoot, this is strange, I know, calling you long distance this hour. My name is Leonidas Witherall. I'm calling from Dandy's Dream Domicile. You were here once, weren't you? Yes. Well, I wanted to ask you a question. Now, it's terribly important. Tell me, did you ever play beanbag?
My, you are busy.
No, this isn't a joke, Mr. Scoot. Who'd you play with? Uh-huh. And who won?
Poor Mr. Witherall.
I see. Yes. Oh, thank you. That's all I wanted to know. Thank you very much indeed. Well, Mrs. Mullet, I have the information I wanted.
Now, don't you think you better lie down till the police come?
No, now I'm going swimming.
Swimming? You must have been beamed, all right.
Oh. Police come yet, Witherall? You hear from them?
No, Mr. Button, but it was warm upstairs.
Yeah, the Wick's on his way down, too, with his daughter. I guess they're kind of restless.
Anything new?
I wish this was all over.
Well, I've just thought of a new way to relax.
Another game?
No, I'm going out on the lake for a moonlight swim.
You're a fool. Only a nitwit would go swimming now.
Just the same, I'm going. Want to see if my swimming's any better or any worse. Never was good.
Can't you swim?
Well, unfortunately, Mr. Wick, my swimming's atrocious. You know, I'm helpless in the water, but I understand Mr. Dandy has a supply of water wings, so I'll have a go at it.
I don't think you should do it.
Well, I won't go out very far.
It's awfully dangerous to go swimming where you can't swim.
Yes, so it is.
Very dangerous. I'll stand here in the dock, Mr. Witherall. You call help if you have any trouble. Water wings on tight?
Yes, all right. Perfect. Here goes.
Be careful, don't go out too far.
Well, I'm safe with these water wings. Don't worry.
Oh, I can hardly see ya.
Ooh, water. Marvelous.
You might catch cold. Ever think of that? I said you might catch cold. Can you hear me? Mr. Witherall, what was that? Water wings all right? I could see them like white sticks before, but I can't see them now. I can't see anything out there. Mr. Witherall, where are you? What's happened? Help! He's drowning!
What's wrong? What is it? Did you say he's drowning?
Yes. He went out with water wings. I could see him. And then there was kind of a funny noise, like a balloon breaking. And I couldn't see the wings anymore. I couldn't even see him. He must have gone under. And he can't swim.
Well, is there a boat around?
I can't swim well enough to rescue anyone.
Well, I hear that. It's the police.
Oh, never mind the police. Mr. Witherall's drowning.
Well, someone's got to help him. I'll look at the other side of the beach house. I think I saw a canoe there.
All right, here's the police. Maybe they can pull him out.
Help! A man's drowning!
All right, we heard you. Where is he?
Just a short way out, officer, straight ahead. There's still time. He's only been in a few seconds.
Bob, Willie, fella's drowning out there. Go get him.
Right, just get me coat off.
Oh, officer, glad to see you. You're just in time.
Mr. Witherall. What?
Well, where did you come from?
We thought you were drowning out there.
We got a call someone's been murdered. Who was it? Where is he? Well, his name's Dandy, officer. He's in the kitchen.
I'll get a towel, standing there in that dripping bathing suit, and don't put that knife in your mouth.
Need my hands to wring out this chute.
How'd you get back up here in the dock without our seeing you?
Swam underwater to the other side of the landing.
Then you can swim?
Huh? Oh, officer, you'll be interested in this knife.
I'll take it.
That's my letter opener. But I thought it was...
Sticking in Mr. Dandy's body, Mr. Button? It was.
How'd you get it?
It was thrown at me while I was out in the lake by the same person who killed Mr. Dandy. Oh, the idea was to puncture my water wing. Thinking I was unable to swim, the killer thought I'd drown. The knife would be lost in the water, and my death would be called an accident. Water wings broke, they'd say. Very neat trick.
Who did throw that knife?
Oh, the champion. It would take a wonderfully controlled hand to throw a knife as beautifully as the one that did away with Mr. Dandy and the loaded beanbag that knocked me unconscious before.
Knocked you unconscious?
Matter of fact, the shot that just punctured those wings was pretty marvelous, wasn't it? Marvelous.
Come on, tell us. Who was it?
Now, when we played beanbag tonight...
Beanbag? What's that got to do with it?
Well, when we played, I was looking for someone who'd be very poor at the game.
But you said you were looking for a champion.
Precisely. But would the champ advertise his skill? No. He or she'd be anxious to conceal it. I noticed who was particularly bad and then checked up. I thought the club records would list great athletic achievements for each season.
What'd you find?
Well, I was interrupted in my research, and the pages I needed were torn out. But when I revived, I realized that I didn't need them after all. Now, all I had to do was to call someone who'd been a guest in recent years. They'd know the name of our missing champion. So I telephoned a very obliging gentleman in Nebraska. He told me.
Who was the champion?
You know very well what the name was, Miss Wick?
She killed Dandy. It was my letter opener to pin the blame on me.
She didn't do it, Mr. Button. The father did.
Mr. Wick.
You can't prove a thing. You haven't any evidence.
Beg your pardon. I just handed the evidence to the officer.
This letter opener, huh?
Yes. You'll find Mr. Wick's fingerprints on it, officer. After it hit my wings, I dove down and retrieved it. Fingerprints don't come off in the water, you know, Mr. Wick.
Very nice, Witherall. Let's go, Wick. My boys will take care of the corpse. Go in the kitchen, fellows.
Mr. Wick, I'm surprised at you. You shouldn't have fallen for my trap. It was so obvious.
Trap?
Yes, the swimming. You know, I'm a champ myself.
Get in my car, Wick. You come too, Witherall. You rate all the credit.
Oh, I don't want any credit, officer. I just want to...
What?
To finish my swim. I came here for a vacation, didn't I? Anybody want to see me do a swan dive?
You have been listening to the distinguished American actor Walter Hampden in The Adventures of Leonidas Witherall.
Welcome back. I love the comic effect here where Mrs. Mullet's like, oh, I'm not bothered when I find a corpse anymore. Been working around Mr. Witherall for long enough. And this is definitely a lighter detective show. It shouldn't usually take itself too seriously, and it does a good job of that here with some crazy steps to solve the crime that actually end up working out. So nicely done. All right, well, now we do turn to listener comments and feedback. Joel comments regarding our first episode. I enjoyed Leonidas Witherall. Great performances and well-produced and edited program. I'm looking forward to more. Well, thanks so much, Joel. And one thing I've really somewhat regretted about the way the show began is that we uploaded that first episode just when all of the craziness was going on with the website. So I was concerned people would kind of miss that. I hope folks are enjoying the program. It's only going to be with us for a grand total of 7 weeks. So, if you don't appreciate it from the beginning, you might miss out entirely on being able to enjoy it. Okay, well, in the radio program, it mentions how Walter Hampden was a distinguished American actor, and as I've mentioned, that was definitely true. One thing was, he was considered his generation's definitive Cyrano de Bergerac. He played that role in several Hollywood not Hollywood, but Broadway performances, starting in the early 20s and going into the mid-30s, so over a course of about 13 years. Well, he actually brought his role of Cyrano de Bergerac to radio. So we're going to be pleased to bring those of you who have the app or the premium site, our own Bill Shakespeare, Leonidas Witherall, Walter Hampden, playing the role of Cyrano de Bergerac, for which he was very famous in his generation, in a episode from Great Scenes from Great Plays. So if you've got the app or the premium site, be sure to avail yourself of that. All right, well, that will do it for today. We will be back tomorrow with Let George Do It, and join us back here on Tuesday for another episode of Leonidas Witherall. Well, if you've not already, I want to encourage you to pick up a copy of my ebook, All I Needed to Know I Learned from Columbo. In All I Needed to Know I Learned from Columbo, I take a look at the career and history of 7 great detectives, ranging all the way from Sherlock Holmes to Monk, with Nero Wolfe, Columbo, and Boston Blackie among those making appearances in the book. And we analyze the life lessons that can be garnered. We have time management tips from Nero Wolfe, lessons in anger management from Columbo, and courage from Monk. You can pick up your copy of All I Needed to Know I Learned from Columbo in the Kindle store, in the Apple store for the iBooks, the Kobo store, and Barnes & Noble's Nook store. If you've got some other reader, you can go to smashwords.com, and you can also buy it to read on your computer there. All right, well, now it's time for today's episode of Let George Do It, Destination Danger.
Personal notice, danger's my stock and trade. If the job's too tough for you to handle, you got a job for me, George Valentine. Write full details.
Standard Oil Company of California invites you to Let George Do It. As a motorist, you know that the job of a motor oil is to lubricate and protect your car's engine, so you'll be interested in this. New RPM doubles engine life. Yes, compared with premium-type motor oils, as designated by the American Petroleum Institute, new RPM motor oil doubles engine life between major overhauls due to lubrication. More than meets heavy-duty requirements of all car manufacturers. Get new RPM at independent Chevron gas stations and standard stations, where they say and mean, we take better care of your car. Destination Danger, another adventure of George Valentine.
Senor Valentine, you ask for danger, I have it for you. If you succeed in my assignment, you will be doing a service to many people. If you do not, it is quite possible that your services will be at an end permanently. In the briefcase that was delivered with this note, you will find sufficient cash to cover your fee and expenses, tickets for yourself and your assistant on a Pan-American clipper leaving for Panama at 11 o'clock tonight, and some unimportant papers.
When you arrive in Panama, you will find that rooms have been reserved for you at the Hotel Tivoli in Ancon. And, George, we're going to Panama.
Wait a minute, Brooksy, wait a minute. This sounds like a gag. Let's see what's in this briefcase.
I suppose you didn't notice your initials are on it, in gold. GV.
Yeah, sure, I noticed that. It's a practical joke. Huh?
Well, darling, what is it?
Oh, with all this cash, it'd be an expensive practical joke. Ought to take care of Ali Khan's traveling expenses for a week.
And here are the tickets. To Cuman Airport, Panama, via Mexico City.
Yeah.
A letter of introduction to a Captain Santos Silvera. No address.
Wait a minute, another note. Senor Valentine. The papers you will carry in this case mean nothing. They are only to make you appear as a traveling businessman from the States. Please destroy both this note and the first. A young man at the Tivoli will give you complete instructions.
Hasta la vista.
Hasta la vista. Until we meet again.
Yeah, bad choice of words. Up to now, my so-called client and I haven't met.
George, you mean you're not going to do it?
Well, now, did I say that? Sure I am. We gotta find some way to spend all this moolah. Yeah, you better run home and get packed, Angel. I'll pick you up on the way to the airport.
George.
Yeah, Brooksy.
You don't even know what we're supposed to do in Panama, do you?
Just relax. We need a vacation anyway.
Where'd you put the briefcase?
The fancy prop? Under the seat. A letter of introduction is in my pocket.
Oh. Darling, when the man wrote about danger...
Senorita.
Yes?
Pardon for the intrusion, but do you play canasta?
Canasta? Well, of course.
Well, then, would you care to join two others and me in a game? Unless, of course, you wish to rest.
Well, no, I'm not sleepy, but I think...
Go ahead, Angel. Have some fun. She's quite a canasta player, young lady. You better watch it.
Oh, that is fine. Come, it is a few seats ahead.
All right. I'll be back in a little while, George.
Okay. I'll read the paper and get a fresh cup of coffee from the stewardess. Good luck.
Thanks.
Senor?
Oh, hello.
I hear you say you like another cup of coffee. The stewardess brings some to me. I do not wish it. May I offer it to you?
Oh, sure. Thanks.
Oh, not at all. Here you are.
Okay, thanks. Oh, won't you sit down over here?
Gracias. Permit me to introduce myself. I am Manuel Perez. And you?
Valentine, George Valentine.
This is your first trip in the Clipper, senor, eh?
Yeah, that's right.
You're bound for South America?
No, just Panama.
Traveling for pleasure, sir?
Yeah. Well, no, not exactly. Pleasure and business, you might say.
Oh, that is nice. Together, business and pleasure. You are not drinking your coffee, senor?
Oh, yeah. They see good coffee on these planes, don't they?
Muy bueno. I've traveled this line many times. I always have found the food excellent. Oh, but perhaps you wish to read your paper, senor?
No. Rather chat. Good coffee. You're going to South America?
No. I, too, am going to Panama.
Oh? But when the stewardess took the information, I thought you said
that... South America, eventually. But I'm making a short stop in Panama also.
Oh.
Like yourself, I am a businessman. I have many interests.
Yeah, I see. That's funny. I didn't think I was sleepy.
It is the steady drone of the plane, senor.
Yeah, I guess so.
Well, take a little sleep. We'll continue our talk later, eh?
Yeah, that's good. That's right. Thanks for coffee. Thanks for that.
George, wake up.
What? Oh, it's you, Brooksy.
We're almost in Mexico City, darling. That's where we make connections for Panama.
Oh, yeah, I guess I fell asleep.
You weren't sleepy.
I was, but... Hey, wait a minute.
George, what's the matter?
The letter of introduction I had in my pocket, it's gone.
Oh, how could it be?
Hey, the briefcase still down there under the seat?
Wait a minute now, look. Yes, George, it's right where you put it.
Hey, I didn't just fall asleep. I was drugged. Yeah, it was in the coffee, that guy across the aisle. Hey, where is he?
George, you're not even awake yet.
Oh, yes, I am. Somebody took that letter out of my pocket while I was asleep.
You must have put it somewhere else, darling. Why would anybody want
It was in this pocket, and it's gone. It was that character across the aisle. I'll call the stewardess and have her report it before we land in Mexico City.
Well, she's up ahead. I'll call her, George.
Senor Valentine, you are awake now, eh? You had a long sleep.
Oh, there you are, Perez. Yeah, I did. And maybe it was somebody else's idea.
What? What do you mean, senor? Something is wrong?
Something is missing. Stewardess?
Well, perhaps I may help you to find it. What is lost?
In case you didn't know, a letter from the inside pocket of my jacket.
Oh, senor, it must have fallen out of the pocket while you were sleeping, you know. Would you mind to stand up?
Oh, no, but that won't do any good.
There, you see. Is this the letter, senor?
George, that's it.
Yeah, that's it, all right. But how did it get stuffed down beside the cushion?
Strange things happen when one is asleep, senor. You must have done it in a dream. Well, I am so glad you have lost nothing. We will meet again, no doubt, in Panama.
Yes. Thank you, senor.
Thank you for nothing. I think he took that letter out of my pocket, looked at it while I was out, and stuffed it down there.
But, George, he's so nice, so polite.
Yeah, sure. So's Joe Starling, probably. Now, listen, Angel. Somebody knows more about why we're going to Panama than we do. And when we get there, we'd better have eyes in the back of our
Your
heads.
seatbelts, please. Everybody fasten your seatbelts.
Oh, Brooksy, I don't get it.
Don't get what, George?
Well, looks like a typical manana routine. Our plane got in at 9 last night.
That's right.
The letter from our unknown client seemed urgent enough. We've been hanging around this hotel all day and still no young man to give us instructions.
Por favor, Senor Valentine.
Yeah?
I hear what you're saying, and I do not blame you for being impatient. But the time is not yet ready.
Oh, who are you?
I am the young man who is to direct you. My name is Carlos, Senor.
Well, it's about time you showed up, Carlos. Now, would you mind telling me what this is all about?
I'm so sorry, Senor. At this moment, I cannot tell you. But soon you will know everything.
But, Carlos, can't you tell us what we're supposed to do? We've been here almost 24 hours.
As I said, Senorita, the time is just not yet. Tomorrow, I think I can take you to the man.
Man? Would his name happen to be Captain Santos Silvera?
Senor, again you ask a question which I cannot answer. Believe me, I will have word to you as soon as possible.
And we're to stay around the Tivoli here until you have it, huh?
Oh, no, Senor, no. Tonight you are free. You may do just as you like. You would perhaps like to see the nightlife in Panama City?
Oh, well, that'd be fun.
Well, then I would suggest the Ritz. There is entertainment, music, fine tropical...
Yeah, sure. Okay, Carlos.
Tomorrow I will see you again.
You mean here in the lobby?
No, Senor. I will know where you are. Your rooms are 212 and 213.
Wow. You just know everything, don't you, Buster?
It was I who made the reservation. Please, Senor, to be patient. Huh? Tomorrow I think your job can be done, and then you may go back to the States as soon as you wish. Hasta mañana.
Well, we're still in the dark.
Yeah. But we know our services aren't needed tonight, at least. So, let's go to our rooms and change, and then see a little of Panama. $212. There's your room, Brooksy. Don't be too long putting on your face.
No, I won't. Not when you're ready.
Yeah, sure. Okay, Angel. A lot of rat races, but... Well, what are you doing here?
Oh, senor.
Also, what are you doing with my briefcase? I don't quite remember inviting you to my room.
It is all a mistake, senor. I can explain to you everything.
Hey, wait a minute. Aren't you the girl who asked Brooks to play canasta on the plane last night?
Si, senor Valentine.
Looks like I'm getting famous. Everybody knows my name.
But Senorita Brooks has told it to me last night.
Oh, I see. Well, that explains one thing. But not why you're here in my room.
Well, I've told you, senor, it is a mistake. I think I'm coming to my own room, but when I come in, I find a man's clothes. I think maybe they make a mistake.
Uh-huh. Well, they didn't. Just what is the number of your room?
Wait, it is 214, this room.
214. You got a near miss, sister. This is 213. That would make you my next-door neighbor, that way.
I am so sorry.
Yeah, sure. And would you mind handing over that briefcase before you go?
See, I was only trying to find out who they had put in my room.
Yeah, I understand.
I am sorry, senor. Please forgive me.
Yeah, sure. That character dreams up a good story. I better get Brooksy.
Yes, George?
Yeah, Angel.
Come on in. I'm almost ready.
Hey, look, Brooksy, I'm going to take this briefcase down and leave it at the desk for safekeeping while we're out. Meet you in the lobby.
That briefcase? Why? George, there's nothing in it but those catalogs. They don't mean anything.
Yeah, that's what the man wrote, all right. But I wonder if he was telling the truth.
But we looked at the stuff. Just brochures.
Angel, on this trip, I've decided that anything can mean something, and I'm just going to play it safe. Come on down when you're ready, and we'll have a look at this place called the Ritz.
I think this place is cute, George.
Yeah, it is, Angel.
Darling.
Yeah, Brooksy.
You're not even here. You're still thinking about that girl in your briefcase.
Oh, yes, all right.
Why? She made a perfectly understandable mistake getting in the wrong room. I'd have picked up the briefcase myself just to see.
Sure, I know. What bothers me is that it all fits into a pattern.
Oh, what kind of a pattern?
Well, don't you get it, Angel? On the plane, this gal asks you to play canasta, get you out of the way. The guy across the aisle gives me some dope coffee, picks my pocket for a letter.
Oh, don't you think you're dreaming a little, darling?
I'm afraid I don't.
But it could have been just a coincidence. I don't think the girl and the man had anything to do with each other. And that letter could have dropped out of your pocket, and the girl of your...
Take it easy, Angel. There's one of those Panama policemen over there in the door. It's all over now, I guess.
Who were they shooting at, George?
I can't say for sure, but look at my drink.
Your glass, darling, it's broken.
Yeah, somebody was a pretty good shot, but not good enough.
Somebody was trying to shoot you.
Looks that way.
Senor Valentine. Senor, I saw what happened to your glass. That was very close.
Wow, Senor Perez. Coincidence that you're here, huh? Came in to offer me another cup of coffee, I suppose.
Those shots, they must have been aimed at you.
I got that idea myself.
Well, if there is anything I can do, perhaps see you to your hotel.
No, thanks just the same. You see, my friend, I've been doing a little adding up. And I can't seem to get you out of the total.
George, let's go back to the hotel.
Sure. Only I think we'll get that cop over there for an escort. Somebody's looking for my hide, Brooksy. And I'd like to know who it is.
We'll return to tonight's adventure of George Valentine in just a moment. Last Saturday afternoon, my neighbor Whitey and I were driving home from a football game. Whitey'd been rooting for one team, and I was sort of cheering for the other. So as we drove along, we were arguing the game and the talents of some of the players. But you know, the thing that impressed me most was the teamwork. It reminded me of the way that car savers work as a team to take better care of your car. For instance, when it comes to lubrication service, car savers are a smoothly balanced combination. Car savers know where and how much to lubricate. They have factory-approved specifications to guide them, and they have a complete line of the very best petroleum products with which to do the job. And when they're through, car savers sweep out your car and shine up the windows till they sparkle like an all-American. Even Whitey had to agree with me that a team like Car Saver Service and Standard Oil Products is a tough one to beat. No matter where you drive in the West, you'll find the Car Saver team ready and waiting to serve you. Once you get a sample of real Car Saver service, you'll know why so many Western motorists root for the folks at standard stations or independent Chevron gas stations where they say and mean, we take better care of your car. Back to tonight's adventure of George Valentine. You're sent off to Panama on a mysterious errand by an equally mysterious client who indicates that the job may have its dangers. Now, after being apparently drugged on the plane and definitely shot at in a nightclub, you're inclined to believe he was right. And still you've had no further instructions. Well, if your name is George Valentine, you decide to play it safe by staying close to your room until someone makes the next move. So, back at Tivoli.
Well, Angel, try and get some sleep, huh? See you in the morning.
I'll try. George, let me take the briefcase tonight.
This? Why?
Because somebody apparently wants it. They'd naturally expect you to have it.
Well, so?
It may be more important than we think, darling. So, if you don't have it in your room, they can't get it, can they?
Oh, no.
All right, then. Give it to me. I'll hide it in my room until we know what to do with it.
Yeah, okay. But be sure and lock your door tonight, huh, Angel? I don't want you in any danger. Here you are.
I'll be careful. Lock your door, too.
Sure. Night, Brooksy. Well.
Oh, Senor Valentine.
I see I'm holding open house again.
Oh, I'm glad that you come back.
Yeah? What are you doing here in my room at this time of night, Carlos?
Well, you see, I had to see you quickly, senor. The plans have changed. I told you the man could not see you until tomorrow.
Sure, I know.
But now he wished to see you right away, tonight.
Uh-huh. Well, have him come up to my room.
Oh, no, sir. He cannot be seen on the streets of Panama. You must go to him. Now, do you know the waterfront?
No, but I guess I can find it with your help.
Oh, but I cannot go with you. You are to be alone, so there will be no suspicion.
Yeah? Sounds fascinating. Where do I go?
Now, look, senor. There is a freight ship, the Cortez. It's docked at the foot of Calle Ruiz. Now, you are to go aboard and meet the captain.
Calle Ruiz, huh? And that would be Captain Silvera.
Si, senor. Be sure that you take the credentials that you have brought with you. That is all you need to know.
Uh-huh. All right, Carlos. I'll get right down there.
See, I will be down in the lobby to see you when you come back, eh? I hope that you have no trouble on the way there, Senor Valentine.
Yeah, I hope so myself. I've had enough for one night.
Sí. Adios, senor.
I'd rather say hasta la vista. This is Cortez. Here she is. It's dark aboard. I wonder if...
Where is it?
Huh? Where are you? I can't see in the dark.
Call out your name.
The name's Valentine. Are you Captain Silvera?
Well, Senor Valentine. We'll meet again.
Oh, hey, now, wait a minute. You're that guy from the plane. You're Perez.
That's right, senor.
Now, what are you doing here?
You asked for Captain Silvera. I am his friend. Very old friend. I came aboard to stay with him tonight.
Oh, yeah?
See, the captain is not feeling well. He asked me to get from you some papers he's expecting.
Uh-huh. Now, look, Perez, I wouldn't trust you as far as I could throw you. On the plane, you tried to pick my pocket after you drunk my coffee.
Oh, senor, please, that is all in your imagination. I put nothing in your coffee. All I did not search your pocket. I am your friend, and the friend of the captain.
You make it sound all very simple.
But it is. Now, where is the briefcase?
I didn't bring it.
Oh, you didn't bring it?
No, I left it at the hotel for safekeeping. All I brought was a letter of introduction to the captain.
It was quite unnecessary. But he will be very, very upset if he knows you did not bring the case.
Well, now, that's just too bad. Look, Perez, I'll talk this over with Captain Silvera myself. Where's his cabin?
I have told you he is ill. He does not wish to see you. So you will do as I say.
I will, huh?
See. You will return to your hotel and get the case and bring it back here immediately.
Uh-huh.
If you do not, you are quite apt to cause trouble. It must be here tonight.
Yeah, I see. Okay, Perez. I'll have the briefcase back here in half an hour. Brooksy, wake up. Come on, put on a robe. Get up.
George, you're all right. You're safe.
Oh, sure, I'm all right, but... Hey, you're all dressed. What's the idea?
I had a visitor, Maria, the girl in the room next to yours.
The one I found snooping in my room? What'd she want?
Well, she was worried about you. She knocked on your door, and when there wasn't any answer, she came to mine.
Oh, I'm sure she was worried about me.
Oh, we had her figured wrong, darling. She's our friend.
Oh, yeah? She didn't happen to get out with that briefcase, did she?
Of course not. It's under my other pillow.
Good. All right, let's see it. There's something darned important about that case, and it isn't just the brochures and catalogs that are in it.
Well, what else could there be? Here.
Good, thanks. Have a look. Maybe we can find out.
You've looked through it before, George, and you couldn't find anything then.
No, well, maybe I didn't look very well. Nothing on that side. Nothing at the bottom. Yeah.
What?
Hidden flap down here at the bottom of this section, Brooksy.
Darling, there's some papers in there.
Yeah, I'll see. Now maybe we'll find out what all those...
Oh, George, what is it?
Wow. No wonder a lot of people wanted to get their hands on this thing.
You still haven't told me.
Angel, right here is a very neat blueprint for a revolution, complete with details.
You mean we've been mixed up with somebody who's trying to overthrow the government?
Not here in Panama, Brooksy, a little South American country that... Hey, here, look at that.
Well, hadn't we better just destroy it, George?
These are plans for revolution, all right. But we're delivering them for the other side. Our mysterious client found out what they were up to in detail, and he wants...
All this is to warn the government of his country.
Yeah, sure. Captain Silvera is to take this plan back to South America and nip a revolution in the bud.
Well, then we better find him right away.
Well, it's going to take a little doing. But I think I know how to manage it. Might put you in a little danger for a few minutes, but it's the only way.
Well, that's all right. What are you going to do, George?
Well, we're going to go down to the lobby and pick up Carlos. He said he'd be waiting there. Then he's going to drive us down to the waterfront, and you can get to work. Tell you how on the way down.
This is as far as we should go, Senor Valentine.
All right. All right, now there's the Cortez, Brooksy, right over there.
Yes, I see it, George.
You know exactly what you're to do?
Go aboard and meet this Perez character. Tell him that your life has been threatened and you don't dare leave the hotel.
That I have the briefcase in your room, and you'll bring him to me. You got it?
I've got it.
Good. Good luck, Angel. See you back at the hotel in just a few minutes.
Right. Don't waste any time.
Caray, the señorita is brave, senor.
Oh, brother, she's scared stiff, and I don't blame her. But I couldn't figure any other way to get Perez off that ship.
She's gone up the gangway now.
Yeah, things ought to start happening.
Valentine? Is that you?
Senor Perez?
Huh?
Is Senor Perez there?
What are you doing?
Oh, Senor Perez.
See?
Mr. Valentine.
Cross your fingers, Carlos.
Cross my... What's that?
Oh, nothing. Let's just hope Miss Brooks makes her story stick.
You see. Very quiet up there in the deck.
Yeah, no. Oh, come on, Brooksy, come on. Sell him a bill of goods. Get him to get off.
Senor, there they are now. They're coming down the gangway, both of them.
Yeah. Hey, it worked all right. Yeah, they're heading for that car parked over there.
See, it's probably the car of this Perez.
Yeah, it's his car, all right. Hey, there, they're in. Now get ready to run on that ship with me as soon as they're out of sight.
See.
Now, Carl, let's run for it.
Senor, what do we do when we get on the ship?
Find Captain Silvera if he's still alive.
You think maybe they have killed him?
I hope not, but I don't think he's just plain sick. Here we are. Sign on the door, El Capitan. Captain. Here we are. Captain Silvera.
See, who are you? What you are going to do with me?
Nothing, except get you out of here. My name is Valentine.
Valentine, you are the man from the States. You are to bring...
Some papers in a briefcase, yeah. But I'll have to turn them over to you without the case. Here, this is what you want.
Gracias. I was afraid you might not get through with it.
So was I for a while.
There we are. The ropes are all loose now.
Okay, good. Come on, quickly now. And you'd better go with us, Captain. It'll be safer that way.
Where we are going, Senor Valentine?
I gotta catch up with a goon by the name of Perez before he starts to get rough.
It is quite plain, Miss Brooks, that you and your friend have attempted to play a trick on me.
But I can't see why. George isn't here, but the briefcase you wanted is. You have it.
I have it, see. But without everything it contained when you brought it to Panama.
I don't know what you mean.
I think you do. The flap in this secret compartment was not tucked in again after the papers were removed. Where are they?
Papers? What papers?
Oh, you do not wish to tell me, huh? Very well. There are other ways. When the young man returns and finds that you are gone, he will no doubt wish that he...
George!
Easy, Brooksy. Take it easy. All right, Perez, now it's my turn.
What do you mean? Why do you...
You put me to sleep once. I'll return the favor. Yeah, like this.
Darling, you didn't have to...
Oh, yes, I did. I aim to keep this guy out of Silvera's way until his ship has sailed. Hello, front desk. I want you to call the police and send them up to room 212. I just caught a man up here trying to kidnap one of the guests. Yeah, that ought to do it.
George, what happened to you after I came back here?
Tell you later, Angel. Right now, I want to make plane reservations back to the good old USA.
If you happen to know a motorist who wants to get better performance out of his car, tell him to fill the tank with Chevron Supreme gasoline, the gas that gives all 8 necessary high-performance qualities: power, mileage, starting, warm-up, anti-knock, vapor lock prevention, acceleration, and area blending. You'll be doing that motorist a favor, especially if that motorist is you, by recommending Chevron Supreme gasoline at standard stations and independent Chevron gas stations, where they say and mean, we take better care of your car.
Well, Angel, that's the story all wrapped up. And a nice piece of cash left over for the fee.
You were wonderful, darling. Figuring out that Perez wasn't the captain's friend at all.
Well, the way he talked to me on the ship did that. If he'd been on the right side of the fence, he would have taken me to Silvera.
Well, it was exciting. Oh, Senor Valentine.
Well, our friend Maria.
Senor, before we left Panama, I have talked to my employer on the telephone. He is very happy that you have completed your assignment so well.
Your employer? Who's he?
The senor who sent you this case. You see, I came along, too, just for the trip.
I can imagine. Well, I take back all my bad thoughts about you, Maria.
Gracias. Miss Brooks, would you care to play a little game of canasta? Well, I don't
go
think
ahead, Brooksy. Have fun. Me?
I'm going to catch up on a little sleep.
Tonight's adventure of George Valentine has been brought to you by Standard Oil Company of California on behalf of independent Chevron gas stations and Standard stations throughout the West. Robert Bailey is starred as George with Virginia Gregg as Brooksy. Let George Do It was written by Lloyd London and directed by Kenneth Webb. Gene Bates was heard as Maria, Larry Dobkin as Manuel, Tony Barrett as Carlos, and Ted DeCorsia as the captain. The music is composed and presented by Eddie Dunstetter, your announcer, John Heaston. Listen again next week, same time, same station, to Let George Do It. Let George Do It is heard overseas through the worldwide facilities of the Armed Forces Radio Service. This is the Mutual Don Lee Broadcasting System.
Welcome back for a nice change of pace from the sort of usual detective story with kind of a spy story. The Man Called Valentine. I like it. I guess when it came to the Cold War, it was a situation, to quote the great Jimmy Durante, where everybody wants to get into the act. And so, like I said, a nice change of pace. Of course, this sort of plot was not entirely unique to, or entirely new to Let George Do It. We heard in that episode a few weeks back, Sabotage, which actually aired a few months back for Let George Do It due to lost episodes. That reminds me, I should mention that between this week's episode and last one, there were a couple lost episodes. There was a title unknown, and then the $1 Million Bullet. But and of course, Destination Danger aired on November the 19th of 1951. But we've got a small run of consecutive shows. It definitely makes me miss the run we had through 1950 with hardly any episodes missing. Well, we turn now to listener comments and feedback. This one comes from the iTunes, and Ducky says Adam is one of the few podcast hosts I like. Most drone on and on, but Adam seems to actually love the shows, and it makes it much better, in my opinion. Keep up the great work. Thanks, Ducky. One thing before I get to the next comment, I forgot to mention a second ago, was this episode featured us getting to hear Tony Barrett in his usual kind of villain character actor role. And I think this was the first time since we started hearing him as Mark Donovan. It's definitely a different experience and role, the Donovan role that we get used to on The Adventures of Frank Race. And we have this question here from Lori. Hi, Adam. Just love the podcast. So sorry about all the malware attacks. I have some questions for you. Virginia Gregg seems to be the hardest working woman in radio. Can you tell us more about her? Maybe you've already done so. I'm working my way backwards through the podcast. Also, what does transcribe mean in the context of radio? I know when I transcribe audio to text, that is one thing, but why is it you're going from text to audio when the original intent is for spoken rule? Did they also say transcribed in early television? Thank you for all your hard work. Looking forward to reading your books. Well, thanks so much, Lori. Virginia Gregg question, I've addressed this a few times before, but the fact is Virginia Gregg just does continue to absolutely entertain, and she's central to so many detective stories. I've mentioned it before, but in addition to being the second Brooksy, she's the current Brooksy in Let George Do It, she also played Richard Diamond's girlfriend in that series, in addition to when they got into the late part of the Bob Bailey run on Johnny Dollar, they decided to give him a regular girlfriend, which was a pretty big innovation, and Virginia Gregg, of course, played that role. And she began in radio in 1937 and had a very long-lasting career as a character actress. Her IMDb, Internet Movie Database credit, includes 206 titles. Now, most of those are television series, and she had countless TV series where she would come and play multiple roles. Many of these would be the Jack Webb series, such as The Dragnets and Emergency and Adam 12. But there were other shows as well. There was a Policewoman, The $6 Million Man, Ironside, a Cannon. On television, she really created this world. You know, outside, I think, of the radio roles I mentioned, she never really had a regular, recurring role. Other than on a TV show, cartoon TV show based on Amos and Andy called Calvin and the Colonel. What she really did is she created all of these different roles, and she could go between the sad and tragic, to just kind of the uproariously hilarious type of characters. I remember the Dragnet 1966 TV movie. She played Miss Eve Kruger. Oh yeah, the head of the head of a dating service that they were investigating in the course of this homicide case. I think that she just remained absolutely indispensable to radio. And, you know, Dennis at the Digital, he said there may have been some actresses who made some more appearances. I hear a lot of Betty Lou Gerson, Jeanette Nolan, Lorene Tuttle. But I do think that Virginia Gregg is probably close to the top, and just, you know, really almost beyond belief in her ability to create, you know, whatever characters needed, whether it's a little girl, an old lady, a crazy person, a teenager. When we get into the 1955 Johnny Dollar, Bob Bailey, she creates just some amazing characters, you know, and she's in, I would say, probably the majority of them. And she'll vary the type of role she creates. You know, in one week she's a kind of innocent daughter of a mobster. The next week she plays a brawling Irish woman who Tony's trying to protect. Really just fascinating role. In answer to your question on transcribed, usually I would bluff through that answer. But Randy Riddle, Randy's esoteric OTR.podbean.com, he gave an interview, and he said that transcribed, the use of the term transcribed, was used because the FCC did not want radio just to be playing records. So when you said this program is transcribed or has been transcribed, you're saying this program is the record. And when they moved to television, they use things like the proceeding has been a filmed presentation, or they'll say that parts of this program were pre-recorded because the FCC wanted to encourage quality and not just, you know, pre-recorded canned stuff. And that's where the principle began. It was kind of like calories on food. Of Probably about as effective, too, because mostly what we have on the radio outside of talk radio is people playing records, or CDs in this case, and most of television's pre-recorded as well. So, all right, well, thanks so much for the question. I'll see you back here tomorrow for Sherlock Holmes. Today's episode is brought to you by the support of our listeners. Thank you so much for all of your support. And now it is time to get into today's episode of Sherlock Holmes. This one's called The Logic of Murder.
From New York City, the makers of Clippercraft clothes for men and more than 1,200 leading retail stores from coast to coast present to Arthur Conan Doyle's immortal character, the world's most famous detective, Sherlock Holmes, starring John Stanley. This week's adventure, The Logic of Murder.
You're going to die within the next few seconds. No! But before you die, you will have the privilege of seeing a technique in murder never before used in the history of man. I should start now. This will be the perfect murder, and the simplicity of it will astound you. Look, all I have to do is this.
Too expensive. Can't afford it. Now, if you didn't know otherwise, that's what you might think when you see the new fall suits by Clippercraft. To be sure, Clippercraft's rich-looking fabrics have a well-deserved reputation for long wear, and you can see for yourself how superbly Clippercraft suits are tailored, how perfectly they fit. Expensive looking, yes, but you'll pay only $40 or $45. That's what happens when more than 1,200 of this country's finest independent stores concentrate their purchasing power. That brings about production and distribution savings that are passed along to you. That's why you can enjoy the extra long wear of Clippercraft handsome worsted suits at only $45 at the friendly independent store in your community that sells Clippercraft. See the selection of top coats and overcoats, too. You just can't find values to beat Clippercraft. Compare Clippercraft with clothes selling for many dollars more. Well, Dr. Watson, I'm curious to know what you mean by the logic of murder.
Mr. Harris, this adventure began one autumn evening in 1896, when Holmes and I were in our flat at 221 B. Baker Street. We'd had an unexpected visitor. He was a lean, pale chap, abnormally tall, with penetrating eyes. As he explained his grotesque mission, my amazement grew each moment.
My name is Forrest, Mr. Holmes. Dr. Nelson Forrest.
Most distinguished name, sir. One with which I'm quite familiar. May I present my friend and colleague, Dr. Watson?
How do you do, Dr. Fox?
Dr. Watson.
Don't you occupy a chair of medicine at Oxford, sir?
Indeed I do, but my civic duties prevent my being very active at the university. I'm also chief toxicologist at the coroner's office, Boars Hill, adjacent to Oxford.
And the purpose of your visit, Dr. Forrest?
I've performed the duties of a coroner for decades, Mr. Holmes. I've performed more than 6,000 autopsies. I'm something of an expert on causes of death.
Intriguing background. Pray continue.
I've two associates, Chief Justice Wickham.
Yes, I know him well, Professor of Jurisprudence.
And Professor Edward Roberts.
Ah, yes, one of the world's foremost experts on logic.
We were enjoying a pleasant afternoon tea some weeks ago, the three of us. The conversation turned to the ancient problem of the perfect murder.
I've spent many a long evening ruminating over that problem.
The conversation became most spirited. Each of us made contributions. Wickham, a veritable genius on evasions of the law, made a few superb suggestions. I contributed, too, on the basis of my knowledge of causes of death.
And Roberts?
Roberts, our master of logic, fitted each step of the perfect murder into its proper place with breathtaking precision.
You mean to say, Dr. Forrest, that your trio has created the perfect murder?
Astonished.
No, gentlemen, not quite. Our objective was to construct a murder so ideally committed that it was absolutely impossible to know how the victim had died and impossible to identify the killer.
Good Lord, if anyone knew how to commit such a crime, why,
I think someone does, Dr. Watson.
Really?
We solved every problem for the would-be killer except one. The final step called for a staggering feat of logic. It was a puzzle fit for our greatest minds. Well, our tea ended. Wickham and I forgot the problem. We felt it could never be solved.
And Professor Roberts, the logician?
Precisely why I've come to you, Mr. Holmes. I've known Roberts intimately for years. He has an insatiate passion for such things. He spends every minute of his spare time playing highly advanced forms of chess. Shogi, the Japanese version, cylindrical chess, three-dimensional chess. He has solved retrograde problems in chess that have been riddled since the 6th century Persian.
You mean, Doctor, you believe Robert may have solved the last step of this perfect crime?
I do. It's a horrible accusation. Once knowing that last step, Roberts might commit murders endlessly without ever fearing that he'd be caught.
Why are you so certain that Roberts has solved it?
Mr. Holmes, that man could not sleep, could not eat, could not keep his sanity if he did not solve such a problem.
Yes, but even if he can commit the perfect murder, why should he attempt it?
The temptation is too powerful to resist, Dr. Watson. You're a man of science, sir. Surely you appreciate the ruthless driving force of the scientific mind? Professor Roberts would have to know if the murder were really perfect. He'd have to try it.
And what do you expect of me, Dr. Forrest?
I am a physician, sir, not a criminologist. I believe the menace is great. I've hoped you might see Professor Roberts. You might try to learn if he can commit the ideal murder.
Have you asked him yourself if he solved the puzzle?
Yes. He denies having thought of it since that tea. But his whole being is dedicated with a religious fervor to visiting weird, unexplored areas where the human brain has never ventured. He could not resist embarking upon so magnificent an odyssey of the mind.
I see. I accept the invitation, Dr. Forrest. Watson and I shall see your professor.
It's simple to find him. He lives with his young niece, Edith, at a cottage in Boars Hill.
Come, Watson. We shall attempt to learn if Professor Roberts has become the one human being on Earth who knows the technique for an absolutely perfect murder.
I'm delighted to have so renowned a guest, Mr. Holmes. Welcome.
Thank you, Professor Roberts. I trust we're not imposing.
No. Quite the contrary. I've plenty of time. Matter of fact, I was just leaving for a few days' vacation with my niece. I've all sorts of spare time these days. Are you comfortable there, Dr. Watson?
Very, Professor, very.
For a gentleman with so many demands upon his services, surely this is of vital importance.
It is, Professor.
I'm at your service, sir.
Professor, you entered into a discussion with two faculty associates of yours some weeks ago, Dr. Forrest and Justice Wickham.
Well, I see them so frequently. To which discussion do you refer?
It was a delightful afternoon tea, and the subject was murder, Professor. The flawless murder.
Oh, yes, I recall it. Evidently, it made a lasting impression upon them. Who spoke to you about it?
Dr. Forrest. Professor, one step in logic remained. One problem was unsolved. To arrive at the ultimate ideal technique for committing the murder. Is that correct?
It is.
Did you give the problem further thought?
No. None whatsoever. The problem was impossible.
Even for one of your gifts?
Mr. Holmes, surely you must know that the perfect murder is an illusion. It defies the infinitely petty scope of the human mind.
Uncle Edward, the luggage is ready. It's by the door. Oh, I beg your pardon.
Oh, this is my niece, Edith Marshall. Edith, Mr. Sherlock Holmes, Dr. John Watson.
How do you do, Dr.
Edith's been preparing us for our little vacation. Is everything ready, my dear?
Yes, Uncle Edward. I haven't the time to clean the house, though. I dislike leaving it so dusty. There's dust all about. On the bookshelves, and your chess set, on the mantel.
Oh, let it be, child. We shan't care. Mr. Holmes, was it solely because of that discussion you mentioned that you came here?
Solely.
I certainly do hope you won't take offense, but it strikes me as rather a fool's errand.
Does it?
Dr. Forrest is sometimes more of a nervous old woman than a professor of toxicology.
I always choose to follow the scent of murder, Professor, however faint and elusive.
What's wrong, Uncle Edward?
Nothing at all, Edith. Mr. Holmes and I were just chatting. That absurd problem of the perfect murder.
If they're off on a vacation, Holmes, perhaps we'd better...
Oh, we don't want to rush you.
Oh, it's quite all right.
Of course, this isn't entirely a vacation for Uncle Edward.
Well, why not?
Because you must read the minutes of the Board of Trustees meeting last week. You should have gone. I'm taking them along.
Oh, that task.
We'd best dash along, Holmes.
I regret that your mission was not more fruitful, Mr. Holmes.
It's been enlightening, Professor Roberts. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Miss Marshall.
Goodbye,
Good
Mr.
afternoon.
Holmes, Dr. Watson. Uncle Edward,
Yes, my dear.
please don't be upset, but
So what is it?
you did tell Mr. Holmes the truth, didn't you?
The truth?
About not having worked out a way to commit a perfect murder.
Of course I told the truth.
I wish you'd never discussed it with Wickham and Forrest.
Why?
Well, ever since you did, I've had an awful feeling about it.
Really?
The kind of shadows falling over the cottage. I was never afraid to stay here before. But last night I couldn't sleep. I kept wondering if you'd solve the problem. I kept wondering what you might do.
Oh, dismiss it from your mind, Edith. Even if by some odd chance I should find the answer, what of it?
I don't know. I saw you in the garden yesterday, at twilight. It was very cold outside, but you were standing there without a coat or hat, and there was perspiration on your face.
Just your imagination.
No, I saw you quite clearly. I couldn't help but think,
Yes?
never mind. I'm being foolish.
You've been working hard, Edith. You're 10. And we're both a bit bored. The atmosphere's oppressive. As soon as we reach the Cotswolds, those beautiful hills, you'll relax.
I hope so. I have been overwrought, all because of that stupid conversation and that gruesome problem. Shall we fetch our things and leave?
By all means.
Well, Holmes, for once I do believe you've taken us upon a futile journey. Not that I mind this carriage ride and the train back to London. I rather... Holmes, are you paying the slightest bit of attention?
No, my dear Watson.
You're not convinced by Professor Roberts' protests of innocence, are you?
One mixes the various elements in the retort, Watson. One lights the flame, and soon the brew begins to bubble. There were elements of our few moments with the professor of logic that should soon produce a fascinating compound.
I didn't notice anything peculiar.
Didn't you? The professor of logic was most illogical.
Was he?
Given a moment for further contemplation, I shall have crystallized my thoughts. But I must think fast. If the professor knows how to commit the perfect murder, he may be tempted to try it at any moment. Aha!
You have it, Holmes?
Turn back, driver. Back to Boar's Hill, to the professor's house where you found it. Quickly, quickly!
Do you believe the professor solved it, Holmes?
I'm sure of it.
How'd you know?
He remarked that he had a great deal of spare time.
Yes.
Previously, Dr. Forrest informed us that Professor Roberts has a fanatic interest in advanced forms of chess.
Yes, so he did.
Yet, with all this spare time, Edith, his niece, observed that his chess set was covered with dust. It had gone unused for a considerable period. Why, Watson? Why would an incurable addict of chess abandon it completely when he has ample time? Then consider the minutes of the trustees' meeting.
The minutes?
Yes. Edith reprimanded the professor for failing to appear at the meeting, so that he's now obliged to read the minutes. Although he has so much time, the professor neglected a vital appointment. Why, Watson? Only one answer is conceivable. He's been so consumed by the desire to solve the riddle of the ideal murder.
Yes, you're right, Holmes. We must confront him with your conclusion. Yes, but while you've the evidence that he's been struggling with the riddle, how do you know that he's found the answer?
Think, Watson. If he were innocent, if he were considering the problem merely as an exercise in mental gymnastics, he would have admitted to working on it, would he not?
Quite.
However, he lied. He pretended to have ignored that afternoon tea once it had ended. He could only have attempted that camouflage if he had an insidious motive. I should say he knows how to commit the perfect murder, and he intends to try.
Good Lord.
I should say he would choose for his victim a trusting individual who's quite handy. In short, his lovely young niece, Edith. Driver, can't your horses do better? Hurry, man! Hurry, hurry!
This is the time for a new top coat or overcoat. Naturally, you'd like a really expensive-looking coat, and with the cost of living so high, its price should be kind on your pocketbook. So your Clippercraft dealer gives you rich-looking fabrics that are hard to wear out and superbly tailored top coats and overcoats with made-for-you fits. Yet the most luxurious of all Clippercraft coats will cost you only $47.50, but you can own a distinctive Clippercraft coat for as little as $40.
The huge concentrated buying power of more than 1,200 of America's finest independent stores makes these sensational values possible. No wonder America is so proud of Clippercraft values. Ask to see the new lightweight Clippercraft zipper topcoat that has taken the country by storm. On chilly days, just zip in the lining and brave the wind in warm comfort. Ideally light in weight and wonderfully light on your budget. That's why men who know insist on Clippercraft clothes. So be sure to visit the Clippercraft store in your city. These leading stores in the metropolitan area are proud to add their names to Clippercraft in your suits, topcoats, and overcoats. In Manhattan, Saks 34th, Broadway at 34th. John Wanamaker Men's Stores, Broadway at 8th and 67 Liberty Street. In Brooklyn, Abraham and Strauss. In Newark, New Jersey, Boulevard Men's Shop, Kresge, Newark. And in Jamaica, the B&B Clothes Shop, 16408 Jamaica Avenue. Dr. Watson, we're most impatient to return to your story.
Well, Mr. Harris, with the shocking realization that Professor Roberts knew how to commit a perfect murder and was probably about to try it upon his young niece, Holmes and I raced in our carriage back to the professor's cottage at Boar's Hill. It's odd, Holmes. The professor answered so quickly when we first called on him.
Knock once more, Watson.
You know, he may have done away with Edith after we left. Now he's vanished.
If he has, it'll be the first act of murder I shall never be able to prove, Watson. Merely indicting him on the basis of chatter at a tea party will be of no avail. We shall not be able to establish the cause of death, the motive, nor anything else.
He refuses to answer.
Well, this door's flimsy. I believe we have enough strength to force it.
Right you are, Holmes. Ready?
Ready.
Once more, Holmes. There we are.
Professor Roberts. Professor Roberts. Search the other rooms, Watson.
Yes, sir. No one in the bedroom.
Not in this kitchen.
Study's empty, too.
They've gone, Watson. The professor of logic has made off with his niece to use her as his victim.
Could we possibly find them, Holmes? They said they were going on a vacation.
Yes, but where, Watson? Where? We must look at every corner of this cottage for a clue.
About ransacked the whole place, Holmes?
Yes, and no indication of where he's taken the girl. There must be one. A human being cannot quit his quarters for a prolonged period without leaving traces.
Let's see, they might have gone to Bournemouth for fishing. Or to Wales. Wales for the mountain air. They might have taken the waters in Malvern. Perhaps they just dashed over to the Cotswolds. You know, there are many small hotels.
There are many possibilities, but we've no time at all, and we must know exactly where.
I've gone through the closets, through his books, his desk, the niece's bureau.
We haven't emptied the waste paper basket, Watson.
Capital notion, Holmes. I'll do it. Here, notes, cancelled check, and advertisements.
Ah, that envelope.
Just the corner of an envelope. The rest has been hopelessly torn away. Just the last portion of where the return address is printed.
May I see it? E-R-S-E-T-S-H-I-R-E.
Ursacher? What word ends in Ursacher? You know, Holmes, this letter might have been written to the professor for any purpose whatsoever.
Yes, Watson, but if it should happen to have come from a well-established resort, we might reasonably assume it was correspondence involving a reservation for the professor and his niece.
Well, none of the vacation spots I can think of ends in Ursacher. There's Malvern, there's Bournemouth, there's Isle of Wight.
The word that ends that way is Somersetshire. The Cotswolds, the nearest and most popular holiday resort in this area. We'll do just as well by carriage as if we stop to wait for the train.
Certainly, Holmes.
Fetch a cab. Run, Watson, run!
The countryside here in the Cotswolds is exquisite, isn't it, Uncle Edward?
Yes, Edith. It's enchanting.
You don't seem to be enjoying it.
Oh, but I am, my dear, I am.
You seem distracted.
Do I?
You haven't been thinking of that awful problem, have you?
Perhaps.
Uncle Edward.
A great weakness, Edith. Problem I can't solve becomes an obsession. You should know that. I become tantalus, thirsting and held, up to my chin in a pool of water which recedes when I attempt to drink.
You must use your willpower. You must forget it.
It's too late.
What do you mean?
I did lie to Holmes.
You what?
I lied. I have been thinking about how to commit the perfect murder ever since that strange afternoon. It seems almost unreal now. Almost as if part of it were a dream. I have been thinking of it since I sat there in the sun with the two professors of tea, idly chattering. never realizing what seeds were being planted in my mind.
Did you solve the puzzle, Uncle Edward? Do you know how to commit a perfect murder? Do you know? Do you know? Answer me. Answer me!
Yes. Yes, I do.
What do you intend to do about it? Will you tell Mr. Holmes? Will you tell Wickham or Forrest? The police, perhaps?
Let me be, Edith. I've been under a great strain all these weeks. I've hardly slept. Go back to the hotel. Leave me. I want to walk by myself in this cool air.
Very well, Uncle Edward. But you can't keep this terrible secret to yourself. What do you intend to do about it?
I shall do nothing. For the moment.
Well, our carriage is coming into the Cotswolds, Holmes. Of course, one difficulty remains.
Difficulty, Watson?
There must be some 15 or 20 hotels, camps, and other places where the professor may have taken his niece in these hills. Now, how do we determine which spot that he's chosen for the murder?
There'll be a way, Watson. There'll be a way.
Confound it, Holmes. If you've an idea of how to find this killer, then tell me. This is hardly the time to play cat and mouse.
Calmly, Watson, calmly. There must be a way of learning their whereabouts. We're not too late to save the girl's life already.
Clark,
Yes, Mum.
does this hotel send telegraphic messages for its guests?
Certainly, Mum.
I should like to send this message immediately. Can you read my handwriting?
To Mr. Sherlock Holmes, 221B Baker Street, London. Uncle Edward has solved the riddle. Urgent you come here. We are in the Cotswold St. George Hotel. Do not lose a second.
That's right. Send it now, would you, and put the charges on my bill.
Yes, Miss Marshall. Thank you.
Clark. Oh, Clark.
Yes. Oh, Professor Roberts.
I saw my niece here at the desk. Did you do what she wanted?
Yes, I'm sending the telegram for her now.
Telegram? May I see it, please?
Here it is, Professor.
Okay. Oh, it isn't necessary to send that. Just tear it up.
Oh, but Professor...
I said tear it up.
Anything you say, sir.
Stop here, driver.
Well, this is the Cotswolds district, Holmes. Now where to?
I shall make an inquiry at this first hotel, Watson.
What sort of inquiry?
I shall ask which hotel in this area is equipped with health bath facilities.
What on earth?
You remember when we first visited the cottage at Boar's Head? Edith said their luggage was ready and standing by the door.
Yes, quite. I saw it.
My dear Watson, you saw, but you did not think. You should have noticed that the professor's luggage was covered with labels from hotels he'd been to previously.
I saw the labels, too.
As you and I have been writing, I've run quickly through the labels I'd seen. I realized instantly that every hotel the professor had visited in the past was equipped with health bath facilities, obviously a preference of his. The remainder of our problem is negligible. We shall dash into this hotel and ask which spot in these hills has a Turkish bath and similar equipment. Wait for us, coachman. Don't leave your post.
Here's the ice for your head, Uncle Edward. Feeling better?
Oh, yes, Edith, much better. So kind of you to bring it to my room.
I've wrapped it in this towel I found in your bathroom. There you are.
Oh, it feels good. Splitting headache.
You must take a nap. I'll leave you.
I don't think you can leave, Edith.
Why not?
I've locked the door.
What?
I've locked the door.
Why did you do that?
I didn't want you to go.
Uncle Edward, don't get up. Stay in that sofa. You're not well.
There isn't a thing wrong with me.
But you asked me to bring the ice. You said a headache.
A very cheap deception, Edith, but practical enough. I locked the door to be sure you wouldn't run off. You see, I've not only worked out how to commit the perfect murder, but I cannot resist the temptation to see if my theory is correct.
You're playing a game with me.
No, not at all. Try the door, Edith. It is locked, isn't it?
You've gone mad.
I fought this temptation, Edith. I did not want to know the answer to the problem. I was afraid I'd want to try it once I knew, and then I solved it. I'm convinced. The chances of anyone's learning the cause of your death...
My death?
Yes, dear. The chances of their learning the cause of your death or of ever accusing me of it are non-existent. There is a way to kill you that fulfills those seemingly impossible requirements.
Let me out! Let me out of
Don't
here!
scream, Edith. Perhaps you didn't notice I selected a room in an abandoned section of this huge hotel in a distant tower.
You couldn't do it. You couldn't.
I thought that myself. But can you appreciate what an achievement this will be for me? Can you understand how I had to know the answer? And now that I do, how I must confirm it.
They'll find me here in your room.
Oh, will they?
Sherlock Holmes knows I went off with you.
It's a long way from that to proving I did away with you. You forget. This is the ideal murder, Edith. The steps I shall take after you are dead.
I know. The window. I'll get out that way.
You can't open it. I tended to that. You'll also notice that before you came, I cleared the room. Nothing is available for you to use as a weapon against me. You're going to die, Edith, within the next few seconds.
No!
But before you die, you will have the privilege of seeing a technique in murder never before used in the history of man. I shall start now. The simplicity of it will astound you. All I must do is...
You'll do nothing, Professor Roberts.
Holmes!
I brought the law with me. Seize him up, sir.
Come on, Professor.
He was going to
Go
kill
on,
me.
officer. Don't try any tricks, Professor.
No, you'll never do.
The professor will fall through the window. Well, now, Holmes, now that we've returned to Baker Street, I say we should enjoy a well-deserved rest, eh? Oh, now who could that be?
Come in.
Mr. Sherlock Holmes?
Yes?
My name's Briggs. I'm counselor for the estate of Professor Roberts. Buried him this morning, you know.
What brings you to Baker Street, Mr. Briggs? Oh, I'm sorry, this is Dr. Watson.
I've no business with him, just with you. We found this envelope here in a steel box for the late professor. It says no one is to open it but you. So go on, open it. Let's be done with it.
Very well. As soon as I remove this sealing wax. Aha.
What's it say, Holmes? What's it say, Holmes?
Watson, Professor Roberts writes that he bequeaths his technique for committing the absolutely perfect murder to me. He wrote this to be read by me should he die before I did. He wishes to be remembered by posterity as the creator of this technique, the first in all recorded time to discover it. He describes how to commit the perfect murder. Just 3 sentences, the most surprising 3 sentences I've ever read. And he's right. He's 100% right.
What are they, Holmes? What does the paper say?
Nothing, Watson.
Be careful, Mr. Holmes. You hold that paper too close to the fireplace and you'll burn it.
Exactly what I intend to do, Mr. Briggs. There.
Oh, but Mr. Holmes, you burned it. We'll never know what the paper says. Oh, Holmes, how do you commit the perfect murder?
That, my dear Watson, is something I must try desperately to forget. And something about which the world must forever wonder.
Well, Dr. Watson, and did Mr. Holmes ever reveal that secret?
No, Mr. Harris. Never.
Oh. Well, you've a revelation you must make, though, Doctor.
Do I, Mr. Harris?
You must tell us a bit about the adventure you've planned for next week.
Well, next week, Mr. Harris, I shall relate to you the adventure of the ancient queen. It involves a crooked knife, a statue's fist, and a certain society. And I'm quite sure you'll enjoy it.
The makers of Clippercraft clothes and more than 1,200 stores from coast to coast have brought you another in the new series of broadcasts featuring the world's most famous detective, Sherlock Holmes. Our stories are based upon the character Sherlock Holmes, created by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, and the program is produced and directed by Basil Lockridge. Sherlock Holmes is played by John Stanley, Dr. Watson by George Selden. This week's story was written by Howard Merrill with special music by Albert Berman. If you don't know your Clippercraft dealer, write Clippercraft, 200 Fifth Avenue, New York City. Be sure to listen next week to Sherlock Holmes in The Adventure of the Ancient Queen. This is Cy Harris speaking for Clippercraft Clothes. This is the Mutual Broadcasting System.
Welcome back. Well, I like this episode. It wasn't typical of Sherlock Holmes, certainly. But it was a good kind of suspenseful episode. Wondering, will they get there or not? Now, obviously, if you're kind of expectant about the plot, like, if everything will go the same, well, of course they'll get there. But they definitely, outside of that, somewhat of our expectation that, of course, Holmes will get there, kept the suspense pretty high. There were a couple of points in here, of course, where you kind of wonder, there was one dull moment, I think, when they decided to go ahead and to let them go on vacation, and they ride a few miles off, and then Holmes realizes something's going on. And the only reason I can think they could have left was his say-so. But that was kind of the main flaw that bothered me. Though you had everybody acting kind of like, oh, you lost it, no! Now nobody's going to be able to commit the perfect murder. Of course, even if something like that could be worked out, it would have to depend on a lot of other circumstances. And while the logic professor's logic may have been impeccable for him based on what he understood, you have enough other people around, criminologists, police, somebody's going to eventually find one flaw that you happen to miss. All right, well, we turn to listener comments. Tim writes in regarding the Fabulous Windmill. I listened to Sherlock Holmes' The Fabulous Windmill this morning on my way to work, and quickly decided that it was the lamest Sherlock Holmes episode to date. The listener encounters plot hole after plot hole. You pointed out several. My favorite, the greatest human mind other than Holmes, Professor Moriarty, didn't notice that Holmes had started the windmill running for no apparent purpose. Really? And the episode was so full of soliloquy and dialogue that didn't advance the plot that I suspected it was originally a 15-minute radio play, and they just padded out to make half an hour. If it wasn't that, I'll always look forward to your commentary after the show. I might have turned off after Holmes and Watson, after Holmes told Watson there was a diabolical villain in the windmill and they should go on. I hope we don't get anything this bad again. And while I'm ranting, what's with those teasers at the top of the show? They do absolutely nothing to pique my interest in listening further. Why change a format that worked? Well, I guess it answered a couple of things. I guess the only thing I can say in defense of the writers is that Holmes may be the toughest detective show to write for in radio, just because there's so much expectation and there's so much that listeners have already established about him. Now, that doesn't really excuse everything, but it does explain, I think, part of the problem that was run into. Another thing that may also be a bit of a factor, I think that we've kind of run into since the show switched from Tom Conway to John Stanley. And that big difference, of course, is the Conway and Rathbone Bruce series were recorded in Hollywood. And, so they had access to some of the finer Hollywood writers. it appears that, for this New York run, we just have not gotten that same capability and talent. And, I'll be honest, the John Stanley run is one I debated over, whether we were going to run it or not. Because there were some episodes that were clunkers. I ended up going ahead with it because I thought there were some episodes that were pretty interesting. And, there are some series where I do put a dividing line where I'm like, okay, this particular era we'll listen to and the others not. One is Philo Vance and the other is Mr. and Mrs. North. There's some later episodes that are just not that good at all. And this one I just did not do that. I think there's certain folks for whom Sherlock Holmes is always, going to be the top. And, they're willing to put up with some episodes that are lesser qualities. And there are some good ones here. And I think, to John Stanley's credit, they do very well when they actually just go ahead and adapt a story. And there are several of those ahead. And also ahead of us, we have a 3-part story arc, which is, very rare in radio. So I have not listened to all of the episodes here, but I can assure you there'll be a few more clunkers, and there'll also be some episodes I think that are worth listening to. And overall, I hope it averages out for you and all of our listeners. Tim concludes by saying, as I've said before, you do a fabulous job with those podcasts. Keep up the great work. Well, thanks a lot, Tim. All right, well, that will do it for today. We will be back tomorrow with yours truly, Johnny Dollar. And then join us back here again on Thursday for another episode of Sherlock Holmes. Well, today's episode is brought to you by the financial support of our listeners. Thank you so much for all of your support. And now it's time for today's episode of yours truly, Johnny Dollar, the Gino Gambona matter.
For your listening enjoyment, John Lund as Johnny Dollar.
Roger Stern, Dollar.
Oh, hello, Mr. Stern.
Got a job for you.
Fine.
Our company insures a Mr. Barney Rico.
Oh, I know that name. Used to be pretty big in the rackets, wasn't he?
Yeah, for the past 7 years, he's been Mr. 8 number 1 citizen. Our company insured his life for $100,000. He was killed yesterday.
How?
He was murdered. See Lieutenant Briggs at the 7th Precinct. He'll give you the details.
Right. Briggs is an old friend.
When can you leave?
As soon as I pack a bag.
Mind if I break in a few seconds to discuss games with you? How many of you, when you were youngsters, ever tried to escape from the world of reality by playing cowboys and Indians or cops and robbers? Today's youngsters have added 2 more professions to the world of make-believe: spacemen and G-men. And speaking of G-men, do you know where that name came from? Actually, it was used about 20 years ago by gangsters to describe members of our Federal Bureau of Investigation as part of the Department of Justice, and acts as a kind of detective agency whose duty it is to track down those who break our federal laws. The FBI also does counterintelligence work in ferreting out spies and saboteurs. And here's an amazing fact about our FBI men. Despite the extreme dangers of their work, it wasn't until some 20 years ago that they were given the authority to carry guns. With no other weapons than courage, resourcefulness, and determination, they had to track down and apprehend dangerous racketeers and spies. Today, however, you will find that the typical FBI agent may be a lawyer, accountant, or specialist in some other profession, but thoroughly trained in scientific police methods and handy with any type of weapon.
Expense accounts submitted by Special Investigator Johnny Dollar to Home Office, Intercontinental Bonding and Indemnity, Hartford, Connecticut. The following is an accounting of expenditures during my investigation of the Gambona matter. Expense account item 1, $24.98, train fare and incidentals between Hartford and New York City. I arrived at Grand Central, went directly to the hotel where I registered and called Lieutenant Arthur Briggs. I caught him on his way to lunch. He agreed to meet me in a small restaurant across from the precinct.
Well, good to see you again, Johnny.
Oh, good to see you, Art. It's been a long time.
Investigating the Rico killing, huh?
Yeah. Why don't we order, and then you can tell me about it.
Well, I know what I want. This is corned beef day. Good corned beef, real lean.
Oh, that sounds fine.
Nancy?
I'll be right there, Art.
How much is Rico insured for?
$100,000. The brother's the beneficiary.
Mm-hmm.
Any idea who killed him?
No, not yet. It's always tough when a guy's been in the racket, even if he's gone straight for a while.
He used to be with the Gambona outfit, wasn't he?
Yeah, you know how that
Hi, Art.
Well, hello, beautiful.
Corned beef?
Yeah, two.
Coffee?
Yeah, Johnny?
Yeah, coffee.
2 beef, 2 coffee, salad or soup.
Just the corned beef for me.
Yeah, I don't want salad or the soup. But, sir, you putting on weight?
You kidding?
No, you're getting a little...
I'm on a diet. You kidding?
Well, just ask. I don't mind.
Gee, that's going to make all the difference in the world.
I still love it.
All a big fat me? Gee.
She's cute.
Yeah, sure is.
Getting back to Rico. I was saying, I'm sure you know it, anytime a guy like Rico gets killed, it's tough to come up with the answer. Could be any one of a dozen guys he was in the racket with. You remember him at all?
Yeah, he was the one who testified against Gambona.
That's right. His testimony sent Gambona back to Sicily. Could have been any one of Gambona's mob, but she's been waiting for the chance. I don't know whether you remember or not, but at the trial, Gambona made it plenty clear that he'd get Rico sooner or later.
What's happened to Gambona?
He's still in Sicily.
Rico did pretty well for himself after he went straight.
Yeah, he did fine. Opened a string of barber shops, built himself a nice home.
The brother's name is Dave.
Yeah, he manages the shop.
What did he have to say?
Well, he's scared stiff. He didn't have anything to do with sending Gambona to Sicily, but he was in the outfit and pulled out when his brother did. He's in a panic.
He hasn't got any idea who killed Barney?
Well, if he does, he isn't saying, and I can't say I blame him.
Well, after lunch, I think I'll have a talk with Dave.
He's probably at the main shop or at home.
Here you are.
Well, thanks, beautiful.
Lean enough for you?
Looks great.
Well, I'm glad something around here hasn't got too much fat on it.
Expense account item 2, $3.55, lunch for Lieutenant Briggs and myself, after which Briggs gave me Dave Rico's home and business address and I left. Expense account item 3, $1.45, cab fare to Dave Rico's home, where I talked with his wife. She informed me that her husband hadn't returned from work yet and suggested I go to the main barber shop of the Rico chain. Expense account item 4, $1.65, more cab fare from the Rico house to the barber shop on East 118th Street. It was after 6 when I arrived, and the shop was closed. The interior was dark, except for a light coming from a back room. I knocked on the door and waited. I was about to leave when I saw the figure of a man stagger into the darkened shop from the lighted back room. He stood for a moment framed in the doorway, one hand clutching his stomach. I banged on the door again and watched as the man pushed himself away from the door jamb and started across the shop. Halfway to the front door, he slumped to the floor and lay still. I stepped back, kicked the glass out near the door lock, reached in and opened the door. But by the time I got to the man's side, he was dying in a hurry.
Call a doctor, please.
Yeah, sure. Who did it?
Gambona.
He died looking up at the ceiling and holding his stomach where a knife had cut him almost in two. It was Dave Rico, and he named Gambona as his killer. I called Lieutenant Briggs.
Gambona?
That's what he said. I asked him who did it, and he said Gambona.
Well, that's crazy.
Why?
You know Gambona's in Sicily.
You sure?
Well, sure, I'm sure. Authorities over there keep a close check. Maybe he meant Gambona's mob. None of them still around.
Or wouldn't he know them?
Yeah, he'd know them.
But he said Gambona.
Well, I'll get a cable off to the authorities in Sicily.
In the meantime, what if Gambona is in town?
If he is, he's going to have a hard time getting back out. But a lot of people would hide him. I'll start checking right away. See you, Johnny.
The coroner's deputy arrived, followed by the lab boys, and I went back down to the precinct. Briggs made his report to the chief, and a cable was sent to the proper authorities in Sicily. For the next few hours, we went through the mugs and picked out all of Gambona's former associates who were still in town. One of them was a girl.
Virginia Barrett.
Used to be a steady thing with Gambona, wasn't she?
Yeah. She's been a good girl, though. Got a job and stayed out of trouble.
Well, worth checking.
She sings. Not very good, but the joint she sings in doesn't expect anything great.
Where is it?
It's over on 34th Street. I've been in it a couple of times. What's the name of the place? Something Den. Pirates Den, yeah.
You going to be busy for a while?
Yeah. You want to say hello to Ginny?
Yeah, I thought I might.
Well, let me know how you make out.
Sure. If I run into Gambona, I'll give him your regard.
Do that.
Expense account item 5. $1.75 for still another cab from the precinct to East 34th Street in the Pirate's Den. It was a small place set down below the level of the sidewalk and filled with enough smoke to keep the walls from falling in. I found a table near the back of the room and gave my order to a swollen-eyed waiter that looked like he'd been mixing salad on his apron. When I told him I'd like to talk to Virginia Barrett, he gave me a long look and then wandered off through the smoke. About 5 minutes later, Virginia Barrett appeared.
You wanted to see me?
Yeah. Won't you sit down?
Ask you to tell me what you wanted to see me about.
It's a personal matter. I'll preface it with a drink.
You a cop?
No.
I'm thirsty, but I'm even more inquisitive.
Heard from Gino Gambona lately?
Who are you?
Johnny Dollar?
Should I know you?
No. What do you have to drink?
Right. Now, what's all this about Gino Gambona?
Have you seen him lately?
You kidding?
I'll say it another way. Have you seen him lately?
Look, Gino got sent to Sicily a long time ago. I haven't been out of New York since the day I was born.
Okay. But have you seen him lately?
Look, mister, I just told you. I haven't seen Gino since the day he waved goodbye from Pier 47. I don't think I want to talk to you anymore.
You read about Barney Rico getting killed the other day? Dave Rico was killed this evening.
Not too bad.
Before Dave died, he named Gambona. You knew the Rico boys, didn't you?
A long time ago. Now you'll have to excuse me. I go on in a minute.
I'll wait.
Okay, but don't hold your breath.
She walked away looking worried and disappeared to a door on the opposite side of the room. I took a beat, then got up and crossed the room to the door and entered. On the other side, I found a small, dimly lit hall, and a rather large, muscle-bound man walked toward me.
You looking for something?
Yeah.
I think you got the wrong view.
I'm looking for Miss Barrett.
Look in the other room.
I have.
Try again.
Where'd Virginia Barrett go?
She's probably in her dressing room, but that doesn't make any difference to you.
Oh, you're wrong.
Now turn around and walk back in that room while you got the strength left.
Get out of my way.
It's like that, huh?
Exactly.
Okay.
Friend, if anyone offers you a job as a bouncer, forget it. I left him lying in a corner and went down the hall, looking on the other side of doors for Virginia Barrett. But Virginia Barrett was somewhere else. I ran out into the alley behind the club just in time to see her climb into a cab on the other side of the street and pull away. Expense account item 6. $1.25 for another cab. We followed Virginia to a large apartment house on the west side of town. We parked a half block away. I watched her go in, then I followed. I went up the front steps of the building and looked at the mailboxes. Virginia Barrett's apartment was 203, but the front door had a night latch on it. I picked a name on a box, Miss Adelaide Jones, and buzzed it.
Yes?
Miss Jones?
Yes, who is it?
Flowers.
Flowers?
From the Ashley florist.
Flowers?
The gentleman wanted them delivered immediately.
Oh, really? Oh, wait a minute.
Well, I was in. I found apartment 203 and started to knock. But sometimes when you get impatient, you get careless. I'd tailed Virginia Barrett, but I'd forgotten about the big boy I'd left sleeping it off in the back hall of the Pirate's Den. Obviously, he knew where Virginia could be found, and obviously when he came to, he'd hurried right over. Because when I raised my hands and knocked, the big boy barged up the stairs and pointed his gun right at my dinner.
Hold it.
Oh, why, sure.
You're a busy little fella, aren't you?
I have to be, or I lose the game.
Yeah?
It's a treasure hunt. I have to bring back a pound of 3-day-old rhubarb, the lapels off 3 opera capes, and a dozen assorted heads.
I'd like to contribute.
Well, every little bit helps.
I can guarantee some broken bones.
Now, about Gino Gambona.
You never can tell. Go ahead and knock.
Who is it?
Marco.
Well, good evening.
What's he doing here?
Go on, get in there. Found him in the hall. Gave me some trouble over at the club.
He says he's not a cop.
Who is it?
That guy I was telling you about. Marco's with him.
Well, what? That's about all I can come up with.
Your name's Dollar?
Yeah.
You know me?
Yeah. Your name is Gino Gambona.
Did you ever stop to realize that 4 American coins show us the importance of elections? The first one is the Washington Quarter. It was George Washington who reminded us that on the unity of our government depends our independence, our peace at home and abroad, our safety, prosperity, and our freedom. The second coin is the Jefferson nickel. It was Thomas Jefferson who said, "No government can continue good but under the control of the people." The third coin is a penny, bearing the likeness of Abraham Lincoln, who said, "Among free men, there can be no successful appeal from the ballot to the bullet." And finally, the Roosevelt dime reminds us of something Franklin D. Roosevelt once said. Every man and every woman in this nation, regardless of party, who have the right to register and to vote, and the opportunity to register and to vote, have also the sacred obligation to register and to vote. These 4 Americans, by recognizing the importance of elections, added another page to your political history.
And now, with our star, John Lund, we bring you the second act of yours truly, Johnny Dollar. Gino Gambona stood in the middle of the room looking at me with a nasty smile, as though he'd just come up with a particularly funny way to kill me. Gino Gambona, one-time lord of the underworld. By all rights, he should have been in Sicily, where the United States government had sent him for the rest of his life. But there he was. And there I was, wishing he wasn't. The big man Virginia Barrett had called Marco shoved his gun in my spine and prodded me over to an uncomfortable chair. Gambona held the nasty smile and walked slowly over to me.
Who are you?
Johnny Dollar.
Well, the name don't mean nothing. Who are you?
I'm a special investigator for an insurance company. We hold a policy on the late Barney Rico.
Mm-hmm.
His beneficiary was his brother. I don't know who insured him.
Looks like your company don't have to pay off to nobody.
Looks that way, doesn't it?
Tell me, Johnny Dollar, how much insurance you got?
Just a small policy. I'm expendable.
I'm glad.
Dave Rico named you before he died.
Oh, really? Were you the guy pounding on the front door of his shop?
What did you kill Dave for? I thought you just wanted Barney.
Well, Dave's last name was Rico. But now, about you, Dollar. What am I going to do about you?
Well, I could make a few suggestions, but I don't think you'd go for them.
No. I don't think so.
Whatever it is, boss, let me,
You got pushed around a little, eh, Marco?
I'll make up for it.
You know, Dollar, it ain't like the old days. Marco was one of my boys in the old days. On his toes then. You couldn't have pushed him around then.
Did you come all the way back here just to kill Barney Rico?
No. Of course not. I had something to get, and I couldn't trust nobody to get it for me. Not even my little baby here. You met Virginia, Dollar?
Briefly.
I hear she's a singer now. You hear her sing?
Let's stop playing around, Gino.
Mr. Gambona. Nobody calls me Gino. Unless I like him.
The police know you're in the States.
Mm-hmm.
They sent a cable to Sicily.
But they ain't going to find out nothing that way. I got it all fixed. By the time they really go looking for me, I'll be back like I never left. And who's going to say they saw me here? Monte Rico? Dave Rico? You?
Gino, let's get this over with.
Yeah. Okay, Marco. Cool this bum off. Take him for a drive down by the river.
Sure. What about the stuff?
Well, me and Gina will pick it up and meet you. Now get going.
Get up.
Well, it's a nice meeting you, Dollar.
Charmed, I'm sure. Come on. Move. Marco followed me out of the room, and we started down the stairs. Suddenly, on the upper landing, the most beautiful distraction I'd ever seen shouted...
Hey, you!
And Marco turned his head for just a second.
Oh, my goodness!
Hey.
He had a gun!
Yeah, he sure did.
Gosh, I don't know what's going on here. I thought for a minute he had some flowers for me. Someone called from downstairs and said he had some flowers for me. You seen anyone with some flowers?
No, honey. But I'm personally going to buy you a whole acre of orchids. I went back to Virginia Barrett's apartment, but Gino and Virginia had left a few steps ahead of me. I looked out of the window and saw a car pull away. Then I picked up the phone and called Lieutenant Briggs. Marco came, too, on the way to the precinct. And after we arrived, Briggs booked him and took him downstairs to the interrogation room.
Where were you supposed to meet Gambona?
How was it? What was the stuff he was going to pick up?
You tell me. 2 men have been killed, Marco.
Not that I know of. You were supposed to meet Gambona. Was I? He said so. I must not have heard him.
I'm going to put 2 men on you every 2 hours. We won't get tired, but you're going to be miserable.
I know the route.
Where can we find him? You hear me, Marco?
I hear you.
Where can we find him?
I don't know. Where are you supposed to meet him? I'm not.
When did you get into town?
I don't know. When did he contact you? He didn't. You're a liar. If you say so. How did you know where he was staying? Because I did.
Where were you when Barney Rico was killed?
When was he killed?
The morning of the 3rd.
I was at home.
You sure?
Yeah.
Where were you the morning of the 4th?
I don't remember. What's that got to do with it?
That's when Barney was killed.
You said the 3rd.
Did I? It was the 4th.
Where were you? At home.
You said you didn't know.
I was at home. Both mornings? Yeah.
Cigarette?
Yeah, thanks.
Marco?
Yeah.
Know anyone who can prove you were home the morning of the 4th?
No.
Where were you this evening?
When this evening?
All evening. From about 5 o'clock on.
At the cafe. What do you do there? Look, what is all this? I don't know anything about the Rico killing.
Somebody does. If we don't get Gambona, I'm going to have someone for these killings.
Well, what's it me?
Then give us an alibi.
I told you.
Did anyone see you?
No, I told you I was at my place. You said you were at the club. That was this evening.
What about the morning of the 3rd?
You said the 4th.
I said the 3rd.
At home.
And the 4th.
Yeah. At first you said you didn't know. Now, wait a minute. Lay off. What do you want to know?
Where we can pick up Gambona.
Give me a cigarette. Where were you supposed to meet him? Okay. Nuts to Gambona. Nuts to the 10 grand. I'm bushed. I can't think anymore.
What 10 grand?
10 grand Gambona promised me for helping him get in and out of the States. Where's he going to get 10 grand? He's at a stash somewhere. Where? I don't know. To help him. Even Virginia didn't know. Is she going with him? Yeah. Gino said he'd come back and get Virginia and the dough. He must have a bundle hidden somewhere.
When's Gambona leaving?
I don't know.
Don't lie to me. You said you were getting paid to get him in and out of the country.
That's right, but I haven't made arrangements to get him out yet. You're going to meet them. Where? Grand Central.
by the Oyster Bar, 11:30. Now can I relax, get some rest?
We got to the Oyster Bar in 10 minutes, and Briggs had stakeouts placed around the entire area. At 11:30, Virginia Barrett and Gino Gambona failed to show. We waited for another hour.
William James, report to the information desk. Mr. William James.
Wait till I get back to Marco.
Well, the only reason he'd lie is to give Gambona and the girl enough time to get away.
Well, they'll never make it. I've got everything covered.
Marco's job is to get them out. If he thinks they've got a chance to make it, he must have already made the arrangements.
Yeah, but what kind?
Well, we can forget about planes. Take a pretty big ship to go that far.
What about some obscure boat?
Yeah, that could be it. Big payoff to the captain. Look, we can figure Gambona got here within the last week. He couldn't afford to be gone too long from Sicily. He told me he's got it fixed, that nobody will miss him, but he couldn't be gone too long.
Take him 2 weeks both ways by boat.
Yeah. He must have planned it to arrive here, get the money and his girl, take care of the Ricos, and get out fast. Let's check the boats that arrived from Italy and Sicily in the last 2 or 3 days and see if one of them is sailing tonight.
Right.
We checked the arrivals for the past week and then compared them with current departures. We found one looked like it could be it. An independent steamer, the Atlantic Star, had arrived from Sicily the morning of the 3rd, the day before Barney Rico had met his death, and was due to sail from Pier 16 at 1 o'clock in the morning, bound for the Mediterranean. We piled into a squad car and arrived at Pier 16 at 12:50, where we identified ourselves to the gangway watch and were directed to the captain on the bridge of the Atlantic Star.
Hey, what are you two guys doing?
Yeah.
What do you want?
Police, you're under arrest.
For what?
Where are Gino Gambona and Virginia Barrett?
Who?
You're both surrounded. You might as well tell us.
Stateroom B. But right now he's probably in the galley.
What's he doing there?
That's the way he signed on. Cook. Does pretty good at it, too.
We took the captain down on deck, and Briggs waved one of his men aboard. The captain was taken off quietly, and Briggs and I moved on to Stateroom B.
Who is it?
Marco.
Were you sure? Take your hands off me!
Now, calm down, Jenny. One yell out of you, and I'll fix it so you don't get to sing with the prison band. Virginia Barrett went off just as quietly as the captain, and the boat was cleared except for anyone who still might be in the galley. Briggs waited outside the galley door, and I went in, with my hand on the .38 in my pocket. I spotted Gambona behind a long table stacked with pots and pans. He looked up as I moved in on him.
Hey, what time is this tub supposed to pull out? It's up to...
Hello, Gino.
Why, you...
Sometimes I'm so smart it gets hysterical. There I was, face to face with Gino Gambona, ready to take him single-handed, right where I wanted him. And the next minute I was buried under a pile of pots and pans. Gino drew his gun, made a dash for the passageway. And that was as far as he got.
Johnny? What? Here, give me your hand.
What happened?
Somebody goofed. Gambona was dead. Virginia Barrett and Marco, full name Marco Dandoy, got 5 to 10 years for their parts in the crime. The captain of the Atlantic Star got 2 years, and Lieutenant Briggs got a promotion. Yours truly returned to Adelaide Jones with the flowers he'd promised her, and all in all, everyone got just what was coming to them. Expense account item 7, $52.88 hotel bill. Item 8, $24.56, train fare and incidentals back to Hartford. Expense account total, $112.07. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Welcome back. Well, on these AFRS shows, we do not actually get to have the credits at the end, which leaves some interesting questions. Gino Gambona sounded like he was played by Alan Reed. I say that because the character reminds me a lot of Alan Reed's character on the comedy Life with Luigi Pasquale, except much, much more sinister. A very good episode. We turn now to listener comments and feedback. A commenter over on Facebook says, yours truly, Johnny Dollar, is pretty awesome. Definitely. And we received an email from Joan, who says, regarding the sixth show, you mentioned after Let George Shoot Day about what we think of a sixth show, and I am again saying, if it is Voyage of the Scarlet Queen, then I'm all for it. Well, I love Voyage of the Scarlet Queen, but it's just really not a detective show. I know I stretched a little bit with Pete Kelly's Blues, but Voyage of the Scarlet Queen is really much more of an adventure show, even though it's got some interesting commonalities in terms of its storytelling with a lot of the detective program. A sixth show we would add would actually end up being a police procedural, and probably would be The Lineup and then Police Headquarters. And I would appreciate hearing from you your thoughts on the sixth show, future of the program, August the 8th. And be sure to listen for our listener support campaign coming up in just about a week. It'll start on August the 13th and will run through Labor Day, first part of September. And we've got some pretty fun things coming, including the announcement of the shows that we're going to be doing next season. So be sure to send your emails that way. And we've got another extra special surprise plan. Well, that'll do it for this week. Join us back here on Monday for the adventures of Frank Race. And on Friday, it's another episode of Yours Truly, Johnny Dollar. Send your comments to box13 at greatdetectives.net. Follow us on Twitter, Radio Detectives, and the phone number 208-991-4783. From Boise, Idaho, this is your host, Adam Graham, signing off. Boise, Idaho, this is your host, Adam Graham, signing off. Boise, Idaho, this is your host, Adam Graham, signing off. Boise, Idaho, this is your host, Adam Graham, signing off.